And economicmasonry.com, 360 CEOs. 360
And like
CEOs.
this, we'll see you on the other side.
A bunch of stuff on here. What is this number? 218-476-8550. What number is that?
That should be for the whoever wants to get started.
And that goes to where?
To the closers. That's the John B must have done that.
Okay. Okay. All right. Let's see.
Maybe I can change it.
Let's see. Oh, let's see here. Let's see. What number is that? 218. That is supposed to be the Economic Masonry number.
Yeah.
What is the Economic Masonry number? We're supposed to put that up.
It's not the main number. I think it's the closers number.
You put on the main number, please.
The main marketing number? Okay.
Yeah, the main number up there. Economicmasonry.com main number.
All right. 424542752.
Okay, economicmasonry.com. And we had to straighten out the internet. And there you go. And let's see. All right. Economicmasonry.com, 360 CEOs. Have everything go to the main number, brother.
Yeah, I changed it. It should go there.
I'll have Louita tell them to put everything to the main number. All right, so let's get to teaching. Let's see here.
You see it?
Yeah.
All right.
Economicmasonry.com, 360 CEOs. All right, what we're going to teach today. About done, brother?
Yes.
Okay. Finished?
Finished? Is your camera working? Okay.
Camera working. Economicmasonry.com, 360 CEOs. See you on the other side, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, let's go over here and see if we're losing a lot of time. I got a lot of stuff to teach. All right, let's see. Let's see if we can get into Zoom. Technical difficulties. Always trying to stop us. Okay. Webinars. and here. And let's see, start.
Recording in progress.
Okay, let's see where we at. Okay. All right, technical difficulties. Thank you everybody for being here. We finally got there. All right. Okay, thank you for hanging in there. Okay, so I'm Derrick Whitehead. Let's get this party started and let's get the teaching because I have a very, very important guest to come on today. So we got to get through this and so that we can bring our guest on and you're going to learn some new stuff today, right? We always want to learn new stuff. We don't want to talk about that same stuff about your credit and about the corporation and about getting a car. We want to go deeper and deeper and deeper so that we understand more than everybody on that internet, right? All right, so we're going to come today. We're going to have a banker come on that buys debt. We're gonna have a banker that come on today that buys debt. All right, very important. So I told you guys how much important debt is. Debt is uh debt makes the whole thing go round. All right. So eventually you want to be like the bank and you want to start going in and buying and selling debt, right? Paper. We want to be paper movers. All right, we're going to get out of talking about that 100, 200, $150,000. All right. For some people, guess what? That's not even a watch. That's not even a watch. All right. We want to get in and start talking about how to get that real money. But first, we're going to go in and get that $1, $2, $3, $4, $500,000. Learn how to do that. Then we're going to get 1.5 million. Then after that, we're going to go to the next level from a hundredaire to a millionaire, from a millionaire, billionaire. And there's $1 billion money out there. So I'm ready to go. We had a good day today. I believe we are in control of a publicly traded company. So I'm going to be making that announcement real soon. So all y'all out there in lovely Wonderland, we don't talk it, we walk it. All right. So wait for us to unveil our publicly traded company. All right. Up and away. All right. So we're going to come in. Let's get through this. Let's learn the secrets. First thing I want you to do is go get yourself a pencil and a piece of paper. Get a pencil and a piece of paper because I may be saying some things you've never heard before. You may say, well, he's talking kind of fast because I got to get through this so I can bring on new information. Every time I stretch this out and I start getting into smaller things, I deprive you of my knowledge of next level. So I want to go in and get through this as quick as we can. But like I say, no matter how much money you have, I don't care where you come from or how much money you have, if you're short, tall, fat, skinny, thin, I don't care what it is, nobody's left behind here. All right. So we may say some things that you've heard before, but we're going to do that because there's people who have never seen this before. And I want them to go in and learn the secrets of how to get $1, $2, $3, $4, $500,000, even $1 million from the bank. And we call that our starter money, our starter capital. Unlike everybody on that internet talking about 150,000, 200,000, like like you can buy a mansion and relax the rest of your life. Please. All right, so we want to go in and I want you to get a pencil and a piece of paper because I may say some things you never heard before. And if you have heard them before, be patient. Don't write things in here that are, well, why don't you hurry up? You said that. Hurry up, get to the real learning. Nobody is left out of here. All right. I don't care how much money you have. Okay. So we're going to teach for the people at first that never heard this stuff before. Then we're going to get out of here. We're going to go to the next level and the next level. Got it? All right. So next thing I want you to do, I want you to get your children, put them down in a chair next to you. And I want you to say, get off that internet for a minute because I want you to learn something. We need money. I'm not here to motivate you, and I'm not going to come on here and talk about all this. Somebody says, go crazy. Oh, yeah, you see, I'm hyped up today. I'm hyped up. Hype me up. Hype me up. I hype me up. You seen that guy? All right. So what I'm going to do is keep saying it over and over and over. That's right. So I want you to bring your kids, sit your children down, and and make sure that they learn something, because we need money almost like we need breathing. So health and wealth is what's going on today. Health and wealth. Health and wealth. I'm going to say that a lot of times today. Health and wealth. All right, so now let's get started. Let's go in so we can go and bring our guest in, and then we can start talking about some real money. But first, let's start from the bottom up. Like a lot of times I want to tell you about the top down, how you can make the billions, and different ways of doing that with notes and building funds. Okay, but now we're going to start from the bottom up, because I want you to learn how to build your company properly, build your corporation properly, go in and get that money. First of all, the money is not real. And second of all, the money is not yours. Let me say that again. Hello, Margaret. Margaret, how you doing? All right, let me say this one more time before we get started. The money is not yours. So a lot of people say, I got $10 million I say, show me. And they take me to the bank and they show me a bank receipt. I say, you have $10 million or the bank has $10 million? I got $10 million. I worked for it. Go get me $10 million out the bank right now. If it's your money, go get it. If it's your money, go get it. Can't go get it, huh? They're going to look at you like you're crazy. We don't have $10 million right now. I need my $10 million right now. They're not going to have it. Okay, so what I'm saying to you is, on the money, even if you got the money and you showed me $10 million in your house, you know how the money machines are going, and everybody's saying, yeah, that's all my money. Read the money. Read it. It says Federal Reserve note. Woo, look at Albert. Yes, that's right, Albert. Albert said it's a note. It is a Federal Reserve note. That ain't your money. So you go and show me a $100 bill and say, this is mine. And I say, where's it say your name on it? If you put your name, write your name on it with a marker, right? That's not your money. Just because you put your name on it, that's not your money, right? So what I'm trying to say to you is, the bank issues you the money and lets you use their money. Now, where you getting at, we're going to get to learning in a minute. But every time I got to let you understand something very important. If we want money, we have to understand money. All right. When you get the money and you show me you got a $100 bill, I say, you got a $100 bill? I bet you don't have a $100 bill. Now, I did this. And he said, how much you want to bet? I said, I'll bet you 100. You ain't got 100. He said, do you know who I am? And I hang around people with money, right? So he said, do you know who you talking to? Mr. Derrick internet star Whitehead? I said, don't change the subject. You said you got $100. Show me. He pulled out his wallet. He said, I hope you got 100 to pay me. He pulled out 200 and said, one, not only do I have one, I got 1, 2, 3, 4. He pulled out $1,000 out of his wallet. I said, that's impressive. But you still ain't showed me your money. He said, that is my money. I said, show me with your name on it. That ain't your money. I said, anytime somebody can come and you got a $100 bill and they can come and take it from you and say, this is mine, thank you. It ain't your money. It's the Federal Reserve's money. Do you know the Federal Reserve Bank issues the money, and every time the bank gets a certain amount of money, it gets old because the money's used, it gets old. They take it back and then they replace it with new money because it's their money. Now, let me build. Hold on now, we're getting somewhere. I'm going somewhere. Don't get upset. That is my money. That's my money. Let me land, like the young kids. Let me land, right? The $100 bill, they take all the money back and put new money because it's their money. In 1929, they took back all the money, their money, and they did not replace it with any more money. So the guys that were millionaires walked into the bank and said, "Hi, how are you? How are you, Mr. Johnson? Well, I'm here to pull out $100,000 for payroll. I have $100 million in the bank." They said, I'm sorry, Mr. Johnson. He said, "Sorry, what you mean, sorry?" "I'm sorry, Mr. Johnson, I got bad news. Will you hurry up? I have to go pay my people because it's Friday, payroll. And I'm taking a trip to Cabo. I need my money." They said, "Excuse me, sir." They took back all the money and never gave us any new money. That's what happened in 1929. Have you heard of the market crash of 29? Because it's not your money. Furthermore, they said buy gold and buy silver. In 1935, they said, give back all of your gold. You had to give up. If you had gold, you had to give it up. Are you following me? Why am I saying this to you before we get started? It's because I want you to understand that the money that you get from the bank is used, the fake money. The money you get from the bank is fiat money. They call it fiat, fake money. It's not backed by nothing, and you don't own it. So what are we supposed to do? We're supposed to go and get the fake money with credit or investors' money, credit. Then we're supposed to take that fake money and buy real things with it, like real property. This is real property. This ain't fake. Gold, silver, houses. That's why they call it real property. That's why they call it real estate. Real estate. Keyword here, real. Why would they make a distinction between fake and real? Because that money is only used to buy real things. So the people that don't know this, they use the fake money forever. But it's not yours. So the 15% realize if I get a company, a corporation, which is not me, it's a person that's not me, and I take the fake money that I can easily get by borrowing it from the bank, and then I put that fake money and buy real property in my corporation. Now my corporation has value, and that value is real. GC, are you with me? Real diamonds, real stuff, commodities, homes, cars, real things. With the fake money that I'm trying to show you how to get the fake money, then put it into a corporation. When you put it in a corporation, the corporation now has assets. So it's not how much money that you have, it's how much assets you have and how much your corporation is worth, not how much money you have. Because you got $10 million, that means you can go spend 10 million on a yacht tomorrow and be broke. Anybody with real money knowledge knows that. The bank don't care about how much money you have. Because if you put that real assets into a corporation, then the corporation has value. Oprah does not have $6 billion underneath her mattress. That's what her company is worth. Bezos does not have $150 billion in his closet. It won't fit. And he's not running around with a money machine because he knows better. It's what Bezos' company, Amazon, is worth. Now, if you're a sole proprietor, that means you can sell your company for 3 times more than what it's worth. If you're a corporation, you can sell the corporation for 6 times whatever the value is that the company is worth. If you're a publicly traded company, you can sell that for 9 times the amount for what it is worth. So you're trying to build value and worth in an entity that is not you, because people play with fake money. Corporations play with negotiable instruments and valuable things that are yours. So if you go take $100,000, $200,000 and you buy a truck and the corporation buys it, you took the fake money and you put it into the business. Now it is real, and now the corporation owns something that's real, and now it has value. It has worth. We love debt. We use credit. We don't let credit use us, right? End result here is that you can become wealthy a lot faster by borrowing with a corporation than you can working for dollars that don't even belong to you. How long would it take me or you to go earn $10 million? How long would it take an average person to go earn and work for $10 million? A long time. But you can go and raise with a private placement memorandum. You can go raise $10 million in 3 months, 6 months. negotiable instrument. What is a dollar? A dollar is a negotiable instrument. You negotiate with it for things that you want. When you buy a corporation, you have instant negotiable instruments. And guess what? Unlike the dollar, they are yours. Did everybody hear this? This is my company. Both these companies are mine. I got a lot of them. Okay. This is mine. And this is mine. Each company, I have stock certificates. And they belong to me. The dollar bill doesn't belong to you or me. This one belongs to me. And I can use this to negotiate just like I can use a dollar. And I can ask for as many of these as I want from the state. How many do you want, Mr. Whitehead? I want a million shares, and I want 100,000 stock certificates so I can give it out to people to give me their money so that I can do what I need to do. Hang on. $125. This book is $125. I can order it from Amazon. It's called the Corporate Kit. Somebody says, how do you make them non-taxable and have them certified? The state gave them to me. The state gave them to me. The state, matter of fact, the state didn't give them to me. They gave them to the corporation that I own, or rather, I don't own a person, a corp, a person. I control it. So, would you rather have a jet that you own and you have to pay for everything because it's yours and you're obligated to pay all the tax, everything, it's yours? Or would you like to have a beneficiary says, here's a jet, use it whenever you want to, fly whenever you want, whenever you want, whatever you want, and you don't have to worry about you personally, none of that. They give you money so that you can, when you wash the jet, it's a tax write-off. Pretty much, right? When you put gas in the jet, it's a tax write-off. It's business. Somebody said, how do you make it non-taxable? If you have a CD, you don't control the market. So you may not have to pay tax on the CD, but you don't control it. I control this. And I can buy this for $125 from Amazon. And they're going to give me all of these that I want, as many as I want to negotiate. But I got to go to the bank and go through credit and go through what type of blood do you have? I got to go answer all these questions. Do you have this together? Do you have that together? Do you have this together? I can order this book online and there's no questions. I want this many negotiable instruments. The bank going to give you negotiable instruments, but you got to go through every hoop in the world and it still ain't yours. And you got to pay interest on the money. I don't have to pay no interest on this. And I can get as many of these as I want. The name of the book is The Corporate Kit. From Amazon, The Corporate Kit. How many people have corporations and they never get the corporate kit? Now you're talking about freedom. How about we step it up a little bit and start doing the things the way the rich people do the things instead of the way the 85% do things? Okay, let's get it popping. All right, so what you learned today is the secrets of how to get $1, $2, $3, $4, $500,000. Let's start from the bottom and now let's go up. I just wanted to show you where you can go, right? And how the game is really played, because nobody online is showing you the real game. There's private and there's public. What everybody's showing you online is public. Go in, get yourself $100,000, $200,000, and then go in and say, oh, man, I'm glad I got this big money. So now, let's go. You ready to rock? Let's go in and find out how we get our seed money and then our foundation capital with a good corporation, and then go in and the springboard funding. Seed money, foundation capital. Got to have a solid foundation to stand on, and then springboard funding. And how we're going to do that? We're going to do that by something that's called Corp Fund. That's the first level. There's 3 levels, and the first level is going to be credit, corporation, then funding. Ready to go? Let's start with this. Let's start with the foundation. So what I tend to teach today is the secrets of how to get $1, $2, $3, $4, $500,000, even $1 million from the bank. And once you get $1 million or $1.5 million, we are getting up out of the bank, because that is interest. And we're going to start doing this. And just because you don't know about it doesn't mean that it's not true and people are not doing this every day. Whatever I explain to you, I want you to write it down and investigate and say to yourself, you mean to tell me nobody taught me this? What do you mean to tell me? Like the lights are off. Morpheus. The Matrix. All right, so let's get it popping. Okay. All right. So what we're going to learn today is the secrets of how to get $1, $2, $3, $4, $500,000, even $1 million to enjoy your life. Next slide. Next slide. All right. So people say, who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Okay. I'm the guy that's been helping all kinds of people for years and years and years. And now I'm coming out to teach you some of the things I've been teaching a lot of rich people. Do you know there's a lot of rich people out here? A lot of rich people. Do you know, even in a bad economy, they still selling Rolls Royces, Lamborghinis, Ferraris, McLarens, Lotus Europas. You know what? In a bad economy, the 85% are hurting, but the 15% are making more money, because they're taking advantage of the people that lost their money. They're taking advantage of their losses. That's why they sell even more Rolls Royces, even more Lamborghinis in a bad economy. What you think is a bad economy. Anybody that understands stock a little bit, they know, in my opinion, you buy stock when it's down. Buy it cheap. buy it for $1 when it goes down, and then when it goes back up $150, you made 150% profit. Buy it down. You buy sandals in the winter. You buy boots in the summer. Make sense? All right. So people say, who are you? Who are you? Who are you? We're going to go about 3 minutes of who I am. Then we're going to get out of that because time is of the essence. Okay. All right. So Derrick Whitehead, CEO of Alpha Incorporated, right? 30 years in business. 30 years. All right. I just look like this. I'm old as dirt. I've been around when they had phone booths and those big phones that you would. I'm not talking about the ones you dial like this. The ones you go like. Right. I was around it with Alexander the Great. I was there. I was there. Rome. I was there. All right. So I'm old as dirt. All right. But 30 years in business, high-end banking. There's a difference between there's a difference between low-end banking and high-end banking. All right. And I managed over 20.2 billion. That's with a B, right? And don't let that be a big deal to you because I have my aspirations, you have yours. And that's small to me. The people I hang around, 20 billion is small. If you look up a small capitalization in high finance, a small cap, they call it, small capitalization, you will see that 25 billion is small. So we run around here looking for 100, 200,000. There's a lot of rich people out here. You just don't see it. But you see those Rolls Royces and those Ferraris and those Lamborghinis and those helicopters and those private jets. They're everywhere. All right. So you out there can be one of them. I just want you to understand that. So, okay, manage 20.2 billion under management of market traded notes. Okay. All right. All right. So next slide. Market traded notes is the third level. You want to go in and make some real money? Go start thinking about notes. I want you to do your homework and say, what is a note? Where does the note come from? What kind of negotiable instrument is a note? What is a performing note? What is a non-performing note? I'm not here to play baby games. You want baby games? Go online and you can keep flipping through TikTok, Instagram, flip, and they'll be saying, let me give you this, let me give you this game, let me give you this game. I'm not here to give you game. I'm here to give you business knowledge. All right, so Derrick Whitehead founded and helped politicians, congressmen, athletes, and entrepreneurs to scale their companies to multi-million-dollar businesses. Me. All right, so over there, some of the people is Cuttino Mobley. Cuttino Mobley is a famous basketball player. He played for the Houston Rockets, LA Clippers. He played with Shaq, Kobe Bryant, all those guys. All right. They call him the bucket. And he's on our website, economicmasonry.com, saying, thank you, Derrick, in the testimonial area. Thank you, Derrick, for everything you teach me. All right. Over there is Dr. Shirley Weber. She's the Secretary of State of California. Okay. Over there is Kimberly Ellis. She ran for the president of the Democratic Party. All right. Now, I'm going to take these down. Some of you say, he showed us this before. I'm going to take these down and put up a whole nother slew of them. Smarty. All right. Nobody actually said that. I mean, if you're thinking that, right? Okay. So over there is a senator. And over there is a congresswoman in the white. Over there is a guy that was president, that was the counsel for 2 presidents. Over there is myself and a congresswoman, Taisha Brown. Taisha Brown is San Diego. Look her up. She helps people get elected to like Congress and all that stuff. Powerhouse, right? Politics. I stay out there, politics, right? But Taisha Brown. She's also on our website saying, thank you, Derrick, for everything you teach me and help me. Just because you're powerful doesn't mean that you know what I'm about to teach you. All right. Down there's Mr. Carnitas, the president of the Mexican Union. He was. All right. Now, down there's Taisha Brown. Over there's a congresswoman. A congressman. See, there's a Congress pin on, and myself. All right. Now, I spoke to a lot of these people at the Democratic Party, and I spoke there twice at the Democratic convention, and I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I believe some people need a hand up, not a hand out, and some people need tax breaks, like me. All right. So enough about me. We're not going to talk about me all day long because you didn't come here to hear about me. You came here to hear about how you can get some of that money, right? All right. Disclaimer, we're not brokers, we're not attorneys, we're not finders, we're not tax people. All right. We are consultants. And if you're looking for anybody in those areas, please seek those people out. Anything that we say is for educational purposes. That goes for anybody that has ever spoken or anybody speaking now or guests or affiliates or anyone that will ever speak. This is for educational purposes, and we are consultants, and this is from our opinion, my opinion and anybody else's opinion that's on here as a guest or any otherwise. All right. So if you're looking for motivation, you're in the wrong spot. If you're looking for somebody to make you feel better, you're in the wrong spot. And but if you're looking to help your family and learn some things a lot of things that they don't teach you, you're in the right spot. All right, next slide. So we are consultants. I will give you this information because I believe everyone out there is a friend. And since I believe you're a friend, I will continue to give you this information freely. All right. All right. So let's get to the money. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to go get credit corporation funding, Cred Corp Fund. And if anybody wants to know anything about what we're talking about, maybe they want more information, you can go to economicmasonry.com, economicmasonry.com, and dial that number, and you can go in and get all kinds of questions answered. All right. So let's go right now and understand credit corporation funding. That's how you start to get the money. So the first thing is credit corporation funding. So let's talk about controlling everything and owning nothing. That's the first law, the first rule. We control the corp, but we don't own anything. It is a person. All right. The corp is a person. It is your straw man. Got it? All right. So you need to get seed capital, foundation, funding, and springboard, seed money, foundation capital, and springboard funding. Right? So $1 to $500,000, then get $1 million from the bank, then go out and got your corporation built properly, good foundation, and then springboard into as much money as you want. As much as you want. It is infinite. So maybe some people have learned what I was teaching about 2 weeks ago about the horizontal 8. The horizontal 8. The horizontal 8 in business is a 8 that's sideways. That represents infinity. So if somebody says, what you after? I'm after money. I'm after capital. I don't fall in love with the business. I am on the horizontal 8. Infinity, my man, my lady. So the horizontal 8, you don't go down, you make a lateral, or you go up. A down, no. You go sideways or you go up. That is the horizontal 8. It represents infinity. So we need to understand some of this rich language that they talk about. All right. Next slide. Next slide. I want to hurry up and get through this for the people that never seen this so they know how to go get the seed money. Then I want to get to the next level so I can bring on our special guest. And we're going to bring in a special guest. If anybody is not on the Zoom, you're not going to be able to see. You may be able to hear him, but you won't be able to see him. And we're going to talk about next level about how to build credit in your company. That's something I notice people do not explain. You should have a good credit score personally, right? but your corporation is a person. So it should have a great credit score and rating itself. All right. So there's ways to go in and build your corporation, and it can have, banks tend to lend to based on what another bank has given you. Let me say that again. Banks tend to lend based upon what another bank has given you. So if you go in and you look at a bank, a bank looks at your credit profile, personal or business, they're going to say somebody else gave them 10,000. So they look like they're paying on time. So I may take a risk and give them 10,000. Same thing with your corporation. So now we want to be able to eventually have the corporation borrow on its own, correct? And the reason I'm doing this today and bringing this guest on is because a lot of people ask me, Mr. Whitehead, how does the corporation borrow without a PG? It borrows without a PG because it is strong. It is strong. So what we want to do is we want to show you how to go in and get your corporation strong. Got it? Now, we want to talk about the 5 business bureaus. It's very important. You want money. You're a capitalist. You're a business person. So you need to understand where to go get the money. Thank you. So you need to understand the 5 business bureaus. Okay? So the 5 business bureaus, right? C Corp. We're going to explain that in a minute. Now, the 5 business bureaus go like this. Ready? Experian business, Equifax business, small business financial exchange, small business financial exchange. That's banks talking to banks. Okay. And then there's Dun & Bradstreet. And then there's PayNet. Now, I've been looking around. I always look around before I come to try to teach you something to see who's teaching this. And I would think by now somebody would have stolen this information from me. They steal it, all the rest of it, right? But this is very important. Very important. I didn't say very important. I said this is very important. Experian, Equifax business, small business financial exchange, Dun & Bradstreet, and PayNet. Write that down because it's going to be very important later on, because you want to make sure that you have these bureaus built up. So when the banks check these bureaus, they can see this corporation has credit. If they don't see that it has credit and you want something like a truck, a car, or equipment loans, or furniture, or computers, or phones, or tractor trailer trucks, or Rolls Royces for your company, those are equipment loans. So they're going to check who? Does anybody know? Anybody can tell me who are they going to check as an equipment loan? Come on now. Experian, Equifax business, small business financial exchange, Dun & Bradstreet, and PayNet. If you're going to get equipment for your business, right? Oh, okay. All right. If you're going to get trucks, tractor trailers, heavy equipment, computers, phones, stuff for your business, those are called equipment loans. What bureau are they going to check? Experian, Equifax, Small Business Financial Exchange, Dun & Bradstreet, or PayNet? Experian, Equifax business, Small Business Financial Exchange, Dun & Bradstreet, or PayNet? Which one are they going to check? Are they going to check for equipment loans, Experian Business, Small Business Financial Exchange, Dun & Bradstreet, right? Or PayNet? Oh, look like you got it right. PayNet. They're going to check PayNet. All right. So it's very important to know what we want in our business so we know what to do, where to go. You don't shoot an arrow in the air and say, well, I hope I get this truck. No, build your PayNet up so when they check it, go get some trucks, go get some cars, go get some Rolls Royces. Y'all see me drive up in them Rolls Royces. I'm no smarter than you. After seminars and all that, Lamborghinis, McLarens, I just know how to go get the money. We own 2 car dealerships, right? I'm no smarter than you. I just know how to build up my PayNet. Then I go to Ally. And go get all the cars I want. Slip that one in on you. Now, if you are going to go in and get those Costco cards, those merchant accounts, right? Those cards that you don't need a PG for, right? That everybody fool you on the internet talking about, you don't need a PG for these credit cards. I'll get you the credit cards, right? You're going to go in and get like the Costco card or Home Depot cards. You can use the card, but you can't use the money. So who are they going to check when you're going to get those merchant account cards? Are they going to check Experian, Equifax Business, Small Business Financial Exchange, Dun & Bradstreet, or PayNet? Experian, Equifax Business, Small Business Financial Exchange, Dun & Bradstreet, or PayNet? Experian, Equifax, Small Business Financial Exchange, Dun & Bradstreet, or PayNet? If you want those merchant accounts, right? Dun & Bradstreet. That's right. You got it right. Dun & Bradstreet. But that's not money. You want money, right? In the beginning. So those are going to be Costco cards and all those. And a lot of people teach you on the internet, oh, go in and go get your Euroline and your Quill and your interstate battery. And now you can go get yourself your those merchant account cards, Dun & Bradstreet cards. Who the hell, or maybe children watching, apologize. Who the heck is going to give you $1, $2, $3, $4, $500,000 because you got a daggone $50 quill? Nobody. Stop it. All right, stop it. Go get your quill. Yeah, what the heck? We're gonna give you $100,000 because you got a $50 Euroline. And another thing, stop with the secured cards. I'm rebuilding my credit. I got a $300 secured card. If you got a $300 secured card, you think somebody's gonna go give you $100,000 because you got on your credit report of a $300 secured card? Stop it. Stop. Stop. Sometimes they say, go in, go get your secured card, right? And then go get your quill and then get your interstate battery. I'm going to show y'all some game right now. And then there's another guy in the box doing like this. There's a guy in a little box, and the person's talking, and they do it like this. I be cracking up. Oh my God. All right, stop. Let's go. Let's go forward. Okay, right? Go get your quill, get your Euroline, and get nothing. All right, so now, if you're going to go in, right? If you're going to go in and you want to get money, $100,000, $1 million, who are they going to check? Because you want money. Who are they going to check? Are they going to check Experian business, Equifax business, Small Business Financial Exchange, Small Business Financial Exchange, Dun & Bradstreet, or PayNet? Let's try this again. If you want money, oh, okay. Who are they going to check? Who do you need to build up because you need money? Are they going to check Experian business, Equifax business, Small Business Financial Exchange, or Dun & Bradstreet, or PayNet? Small Business Financial Exchange. That's it. Small Business Financial Exchange for 100 points. Ding, 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 ding. Okay. If we want money, a line of credit, installment line, that means rate and term. That means you pay it down, boom, and I'm done. You pay it down and I'm done. You must know this. A lot of people like, man, I don't want to hear this. But you want to hear every song that comes on the internet. Don't turn that song. But when you start talking about how to make some money, man, I ain't got time. I ain't got time to live with that guy. It's amazing. Somebody start telling you, man, that's my racket. Man, turn that up. Don't turn that. You know, you make me sweat, make me holler, make me. Listen, you know everything in the song. Let somebody come in here and teach you how to go get some money. And it's not the same old stuff that you hear every day. You're like, man, I don't hear all that. Man, I don't hear that. If I was in here doing a headstand, right? All of a sudden, I just backed up and said, hey, everybody, watch this. And I did a headstand, right? It would be 300,000 people on here. Matter of fact, hold on. Let me do this. You think I can't? Everybody say, oh no, don't hurt yourself, Mr. Whitehead. I ain't that damn old. Okay, it would be 500,000 people on it. If I let a monkey come in here and sat up on my shoulder right here and I start talking, everybody would be on here. Your wife not getting. Oh, you got jokes. Nobody. Okay, look, I'm just trying to show you stuff how to get the money. All right, so installment lines. If you go in Small Business Financial Exchange, that is who you're going. They're going to check Small Business Financial Exchange. If you want credit cards, right? Like revolving lines of credit. or revolving credit cards, right? They're going to check who? Don't say they don't give you credit cards. They give them to me all day long. They give them to me. They don't give credit cards to white people. They don't give credit cards to black people. They don't give credit cards to Mexican people. They don't give credit cards to Filipino people. How they know who you are? You funding a corp. A corp is a person. They don't know. They give them to me. Why they don't give them to you? Because I got a nice suit. They don't care. All day long, they give them to me, and they'll give them to you. And some of these cards don't even have a credit limit. No limit. Now, I'm going to bring on a special guest in about 15 minutes, 20 minutes. So hang in there, and he's going to tell you how to put trade lines on so that when you want to get money or these different things, how to put these on. So guess what? If you're not on the Zoom, I want you to go to economicmasonry.com, economicmasonry.com, and sign in for free. This is free. Been doing this for years for free. Go in and sign in, and you'll be able to see this person and be able to talk to this banker who buys millions and millions of dollars of debt a week. And he's going to explain to you how this is done. Who's going to bring people like this on the internet for you to learn? Nobody. Me. All right, so let's get through this so that we can go in and understand the next level. All right, so if you're going to go get revolving lines of credit, or you're going to get credit cards, revolving credit cards, that means you use them down and you play them and you pay them and you use them over again. Pay them down over and over again. Revolving installment line is when you get the money, one lump sum, they get a line of installment line, you pay it down and you're done. If you're going to get those credit cards, who are they going to check? Equifax, Experian, Small Business Financial Exchange, Dun & Bradstreet, or PayNet. Who are they going to check? Who are they going to check? Experian and Equifax, or Small Business Financial Exchange, Dun & Bradstreet, and PayNet. Which one are they going to check? Are they going to check? If you want revolving lines of credit and revolving credit lines, are they going to check Experian? Small Business No. Experian, Equifax, Small Business Financial Exchange, Dun & Bradstreet, or PayNet. Which one are they going to check? Oh, y'all done got hip to it. Okay, that's all right. Experian and Equifax, that's who they're going to check. That's right. All right, Experian and Equifax. Okay. So I want you to make sure you write these things down, because this is how you get the money. And this is how you build a corporation that will stand on its own without you being the PG. So now, speaking of PG, let's shift over to here. All right. Step number one, to get the money, the first thing you need to do is you need to be a personal guarantor. Credit corporation funding. You need to first be a credit personal guarantor. So the bank says, who's going to get to borrow the money? You say, I'm not going to borrow it. Willie Corporation is going to borrow the money. They say, okay, what kind of documents you're going to give us? You're going to say, no doc, stated income and no doc. And they're going to say, well, since you're not giving us no documentation, who is going to make sure we get our money back? You say, I am. I'm going to personally guarantee it. It's not my credit cards, but I'm going to guarantee it. All right. Now, after a while, you want to remove yourself as a personal guarantor. If not, every time you go get some more money, they're going to ask you for a personal guarantor. So later on, I want you to understand how to remove yourself as the PG. But in the beginning, let's go in and talk about a personal guarantor. So the first thing is, I say, okay, you want to fund a corporation, right? You want to do it like the big girls and the big boys do it. And you want to go in and get you some large amounts of money and keep moving up and up and up and up and leave your children some money, a big legacy? How's your credit? They say, well, my credit, I got a 660. I got a 550. My credit's not that bad. I got an 800. So you got an 800 credit score and you're not a millionaire by now. Why do you have an 800 credit score? Just for fun, right? Just so you can buy a house and get a great interest rate, a debt, or you can even get a car and I got low interest rate because my credit is good. No, we're supposed to use credit, not let credit use us. Got it? All right. So I'm not talking about, when I say how's your credit, I'm not talking about your credit score. I'm talking about a FICO. So let's get into this. The corporation, when you're funding the corporation, you need to be a good personal guarantor, and the personal guarantor is you. So that means they want to know what is your FICO, not your credit. Credit is just one thing. FICO is many things. So let's talk about the FICO. The FICO, let's say you pull out your driver's license, all right? And whatever name is on your driver's license, it could be John Harris, it could be Harris J. It should be just John Harris if on your driver's license is John Harris. That should be on your credit report. Not John J. Harris, not Harris J. R. Harris, whatever. It should be whatever's on your driver's license. If you have any other names on there, it's going to look as though those are aliases, and your points, they call them data points. Data points. They're going to go down, 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 down. Okay. And you're not going to get the money. So this thing is not hard. Let's go in and understand data points. The next thing is, don't ever have less than 5 trade lines. If you have less than 5 trade lines, ask us how you can go in and get more trade lines on your corporation. Okay. If you have more than one name, no good. If you have more than one address, no good. One address, whatever's on your driver's license. Some people have many addresses. You look unstable. Data points down, down, down. That's why we don't get the money. Some of the reasons, right? No derogatories, no negatives, no lates, no collections. And those things are easy to get off your credit if they're inaccurate. The Fair Credit Reporting Act says anything that's inaccurate, you can get it off. So I want you to go in and ask us. We're doing question and answers about a FTC affidavit. A FTC affidavit. So you download that FTC fraud affidavit, and if you believe, or an affidavit, if you believe that something's not accurate, I don't know. I can't tell you if it's inaccurate. You know. But if you feel as though it's inaccurate, by all means, go in and take care of it, because that will get things off your credit like that. Like that. Okay. So if you have any questions about that, go in, ask us in question and answers. Okay. All right. Next slide. All right. So the next thing you need to do is, you're going to fund a corporation. You need to be a good personal guarantor, right? So the next thing you need to do is have yourself a company. You're going to fund a corporation. Where's your corporation? All right. So now you cannot do business unless you have a business. Make sense? All right. So let's talk about the LLC. You got your LLC. I've been had an LLC. When you had man, I got so many LLCs, man. I mean, that's what I do. I'm a businessman. You know what I'm saying? Hi, I'm Michael, and I got my very own LLC. And it was easy, too. I'm Janet, and I got my very own LLC, and so did my friend Barbara, and we got it from legal you know who, and it was easy, and you don't want any money, then get yourself an LLC. Let's talk about the LLC. You got your LLC. Go and get your LLC. Let me show y'all how to go get your Let me show. Why? Okay. Let's talk about the LLC. The LLC is limited liability. So if you want to be limited and you want to walk in the bank and tell them, I would like to have some of your money, and they would say, okay, what kind of company you have? I'm an LLC. They're going to say, do you know if the bank lends you $1,000, they now have $10,000 on their books? Did you know that? As soon as you sign that paperwork, they have $10,000. So it's an agreement between you and them. Let's make some money together. Right? So, but wait a minute. You walk in and tell me, hey, you know what? I think we should do business together. Hey, man, okay, what you want to do? Well, first I want to tell you, I'm limited, but I still want to do business with you. I have liability too. What your police after you? What you doing? You got an ankle bracelet on? What you talking about? Your baby mama? What you mean? Well, I'm limited and I got liability. That's what the bank is going to look at you as. Talk about I'm limited with liability. Can you please give me some of your money? The LLC is limited liability company. Okay, so it is not a corporation, it's a limited liability company, and it's not meant for getting money. It is meant for protection. For protection, like a doctor operates on somebody, they say, I'm going to sue you, you messed up, right? Well, I'm a limited liability company and you get nothing from me. Or let's say, or like a construction, that's dangerous. Hey man, something fell on my foot when I walked by. This. I'm suing you. Well, I'm limited liability. I'm licensed, bonded, and you're not getting nothing from me. Hey, I'm a truck driver. That's dangerous. That's an LLC. Or for real estate, you transfer real estate. We do real estate also. Okay, at a high level, right? So that's in case you want to exchange, put your real estate in a corporation and sell it. Or a lot of times your tax person will say, go and get your LLC or your S corporation so that you can do a pass through. So you only pay one tax. So you only pay one tax as a pass through instead of tax on the corp and tax on your earnings and the corp's earnings. That's a pass through. But as far as I'm concerned, anybody with any real money pays as much tax or not pay as much, but they have a person that takes care of their taxes. And you grow your company, stay in your lane. So you should have a CPA, a certified public accountant that helps you with your taxes because they specialize in it. And you should be getting more and more money to make your company valuable. That's what you're supposed to be doing. If you find $1 on the ground, take that dollar and say, I'm putting this in my taxes. Because the tax person and the bank are like cousins. If you go and pay the tax, they give you a receipt. And they say, take this to my cousin, the bank, and now let's see if they're going to give you more money. Make sense? All right. So stop going and trying to avoid taxes. Go in, get yourself a CPA, and let them handle the taxes. All right. And if you got an LLC, you are limited. Limited. You are limited. That's what it says. I didn't make this up. It means limited. All right. So the next thing is S corporation. What is an S corporation? S corporation is, hey man, I hit the lottery. I want to invest in your company. Hey man, let's go. You make money, I make money. Well, wait a minute. I only want to invest. I don't want to be hey, what you mean? Good night, coach. Where you going? We're getting ready to have our special guest on. All right. Like, good night, coach. Have to go to bed. Okay. So an S corporation says, hey, you know what? I want to invest. Well, I don't want to be a part of your business. I just want to invest. Well, guess what? We have what they call an S corporation. That's for investors. That's not for getting money. There's one type of company that's made for getting money, but they don't teach you this. They don't teach you this. They just let you see the pie in the sky and learn these little bit of things on the internet. Look, let me tell you about this. Let me tell you a little secret. Look at. Okay. All right. The one company that's made just for getting money. Da, 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 da. C Corporation, that's what it is. C Corporation is made just for getting money. It is a special purpose entity. What's the special purpose, Mr. Whitehead? To get money. That's what the C Corp is made for. All right. So if you want money, go in and go by the rules. If you want money, somebody said I was logged in, and let me see. Here. Log back in. Okay, that's our special guest says he just got kicked out. Let's see. All right. All right. So the C Corporation is made for getting money. That's what it's made for. They never told you that. Who's teaching you this? Nobody, because it is a banker. You have to understand banking. All right. Not go to the internet and go go to all this become an internet guru. Now you know all of it. No, you have to understand banking. All right. Okay. Our special guest says they got kicked out, and the only way they can get back in is to sign up for the 28th. Okay. Let me see something. Let's see. All right, we have to keep moving. We have to keep moving. So I'm going to show you something, and then I want to see if I can get them back in. But in the meantime, we have to keep doing this because I don't want you to get distracted. All right. So LLC, S Corporation, C Corporation. And in the C Corporation is a person. So everything you have, it has a corporation that's meant to get money. So here in the C Corporation are the articles of incorporation. That's this thing with this seal on it. The articles of incorporation is like the law enforcement action for your driver's license. And you say, okay, you don't have a warrant, you're not in trouble or whatever, right? Well, guess what? That's what this good standing letter is. Okay? That's what this good standing letter is. Can somebody send me a link to get in?
The webinar link, Mr. Derrick?
Yes. Let's see. Hold on a second. Okay. Hold on one second. Let me see. Let me see here. Let's see here and here and here. Oh shit. Uh-oh. Excuse me. Let's see. Here. Oh shucks. Hold on a second. Let me see. Copy. And here. Back. And paste. Okay. can you tell Louisa I sent her a number
Yes, Mr. Derrick.
and I want her to send Mr. Ron that number, send a link to that number so he can get in.
Got it, Mr. Derrick.
Thank you. Okay. Let's see if we can get back here. All right. So let's get back to this. The only thing that's meant for getting money is the C corporation. The C corporation. All right. So now the C corporation is comprised of a good standing letter. That means it's in good standing, like it's a person, right? The next thing is, this is its birth certificate. It's called the Articles of Incorporation. That says this is who we are, this is what we do, and we will abide by all the rules that apply to us. Good standing letter and Articles of Incorporation. And then we go in and we get our EIN number, and that's going to be for taxes. That's his Social Security number. The EIN number is his Social Security number. The Articles is his birth certificate, like a person, and this is its get out of jail card. You're not in trouble. Got it? You take those three things, you go open a bank account. When you open a bank account, make sure that you put a little bit of money in the bank so you can have a relationship with them. So when you go in and ask them for some money, you let the money be in there for $5,000, $100,000, whatever money you can put in there, $1,000. So now you have a relationship with the bank that helps them decide on giving you some money. Okay. So we want to have a relationship with the bank. Now, the C Corp can take you to heights that there's no limit. And of course, remember, it comes with these things, negotiable instruments that you can use to get the big money, the big money. All right. So now, the next thing I want you to understand is the structure. We have to have the proper structure of the company. So I call that the 7 structure. Everybody understand that? 7 structure. Nobody teaches you how to keep your money. You have to protect your money. Okay, so let's talk about the protection. C corporation here, and it should not have any specific name. It should say ABC Inc. It should not be anything that the bank doesn't like. So if you say something that the bank doesn't like I have a LLC, I don't say they don't like it. I'm just saying it's not for getting money. So if you say something like an LLC, you're going to say, nah, right? So I want you to look at SIC codes. Write this down. SIC codes. SIC codes that banks like and SIC codes that banks don't like. So if you're a trucker, let's say that's a dangerous thing. A SIC code could be trucking, transportation industry. So your SIC code could be trucker. It could be 53462. 53462. That could be trucking. And the other instance is transportation, 65971. That could mean transportation. So they look at the SIC code and then they say, no, thank you, because trucking and transportation, we don't like that. Or not, we don't like it, but it's not that not that highly desirable. You get less money, in my opinion. Okay. Now, so look up SIC codes that banks like and SIC codes that banks don't like. Okay. And now you're able to move forward in getting yourself some money. Next thing is, if you have a C corporation, you should not ever So if you have a C corporation, you should never name yourself anything specific. Okay, you ever notice that Starbucks doesn't mean coffee? You ever notice that Walmart doesn't mean cheap clothes? You ever notice that Amazon doesn't mean whatever they do? It just means big Amazon, right? They know better. You ever notice Apple doesn't mean computers? You ever notice that? Because they know better than to name themselves a specific name. So that's what I'm trying to teach you. So your C Corp should be ABC Inc. doing business as. If you have an LLC, you should put it underneath your C Corp. ABC Inc., no specific name, because that is what you're going to borrow the money with. The C Corp is made to borrow money. So you're going to borrow the money with the C Corporation. Got it? And you're going to do business, doing business as ABC Trucking or LLC Trucking. You put your LLCs or whatever underneath the C Corp as doing business as ABC Inc., doing business as whatever. Okay? So that's what you do with your LLC. All right? Next thing is the C Corp. Protect your money. At the top is protection. C Corp, hold your money. Write a letter from the C Corp to the holding corp. Say everything we own belongs to you. Have it notarized, and now it's with protection. That's called the corporate veil. Holding corp, write a letter to the trust, and everything in the trust is a double protection. So holding corp, write a letter, have it notarized, and put it all in the trust inside and outside the United States. That's the 7 structure. Got it? Now I want you to also know, lastly, that banks don't like rookies. So if you go in and you think that you're going to get some money because you got a brand new company, the bank's not going to go and say you're an LLC, plus you're brand new, plus you have no experience. They're not going to let you experiment with their money. So don't ever go in with a brand new company. So they say, well, Mr. Whitehead, what am I going to do? I got an LLC. I just told you what you do with your LLC. But they have things out here that's called a age corporation. The same way you can go buy a new corporation from legal, you know who, you can buy an old corporation. Now, is that legal? Sure it is. People buy old corporations every day. Don't they buy restaurants? Don't they buy shoe companies and all that every day? Sure they do. So you need to be able to go in and buy an age corporation. People buy these every day. So nobody wants to sit around and wait for money. You cannot, if you walk in the bank talking about I want money and you're less than 3 years old, you're not getting the money. Okay. You want 2.5 tax years. So January to April, that's 2 years, 8 months. So never walk in the bank less than 3 years. That's 2 years, 8 months. Make it 3 years. So never go in with a baby or you get baby money or no money. All right. You want to go in and change your life, go get yourself some money. You want to go in and get yourself your cars and all the things that you want. Go get your corporation, build it up properly, and go get some money. Remember the 5 bureaus? Now, the next thing is, I want to make sure that you don't go in and get a corp over 8 or 9 years, because now you're an old person. And the bank's going to say, you're an old person. You don't have any no financials, no nothing. That's like dog age. You're like 70 years old. And you 9 or 10, 11, 12 years old. Don't do that. So don't go over under 3 years. Don't go over 8 or 9 years. Got it? Now, you can go get these Season A shelf corporations like the rich people do. They sell them everywhere. You don't need us. But I would borrow, they sell some of these things for like 20 grand, but you can get 50, 100, 200, 300, 400, $500,000 for 20 grand. I think that's a bit much. Look, I would borrow 20 grand. Hey man, let me hold 20 grand so I can go get this money. I'm gonna get a ton of credit card. I'm gonna give you a credit card, right? I'm gonna have a ton of credit cards. I'm gonna have a lot of money, right? I would borrow that, but I would go in and say, you know what? If I can't go get the corporation right now, I would go in and say, let me get a credit card and go get your corp. Go get the other things that go with it. Now, it's just not just the corporation that go with it. We sell them too. I think $20,000 is a bit much. All right. But you don't need us. You can go in and get these things, find them online, do your research, and do the things I'm saying to do, and go get your money. You want to change your life? Play by the rules. If you play by the rules, 99% of the time you will win. All right. So go get your Season A shelf corporation. Don't go over 8 or 9 years. Don't go under 3 years, and build it out right. Now, the difference between us and everybody else, you don't need us, because we're going to have question and answers, and we're going to show you how to do it. And you can ask me questions, right? But some people say, Mr. Whitehead, can you help me with this? Can you help me with that? So those of you that's going to ask me, can you help me? Because you always do, right? You can go in, get these seasoned age shelf corporations, and we not only give you the corp and say goodbye, now you got to figure it all out. We also go in and help you. You got to have an age website. You can't have an age corporation and no age website. You got to have an age website. You got to have an age domain name. You got to have a .com, right? You got, and if you don't have it, they're going to look on who is and see whether you have it or not. This is banking. All right. You're going to have you want to have your an office, not a mailbox, etc. Right, but a real office with a real address and a real phone number, not a landline, not voice over IP. They will look down on Google Maps and see if you have a real office. So get an office that has a key and preferably a lease. And also make sure that they put that office address in the post office box. See, who's going to teach you this? Nobody. So there's a lot of other things like, hey, how about putting your information into Experian, not Dun & Bradstreet, so that you can shift through all the bureaus. We do all that for you. All of it. All right. So, well, Mr. Whitehead, how can I get this stuff? How can I get the corporation? You can go in online, research, you can listen to what I'm saying, and you can ask questions, or you can call us up. You can go to economicmasonry.com and you can go in and ask us about the corporation. Guess what? Guess what? Do you know you can actually go in, if you don't have all the money, you can actually go in and get seed money. Let's say you want to get your website, you want to get your credit together, you want to get your corporation, you want to get all that stuff, okay? You also have to put your name in all the listings too. If the bank can't find you, no money. So you want to go into Manta and all those other places. We do all that. But for you, that's what makes us different from everybody else. And why would you sit around waiting for money when you can go get some money now? Or you just want to work for it? This is not the place for you. If you want to work for the money, all right? So we can go in. We have people that are waiting. They can go in and get you seed money. If you want, let's say, for instance, you got a 680 credit score. If you got a 680 credit score, I want you to succeed. Do you know you can go in and get seed money? Anybody that would like to get the corporation, put your hand up. First of all, let me ask you, if you think what I'm teaching you so far is worth anything, I want you to put up a 9. I could just go leave. Okay, bye. Thank you so much. Bye. Go eat me, get me something to eat. All right. If this is worth anything, worth helping your family or anything worthwhile, put up a 9. Let me see how you feel. All right. Because I've been talking a long time teaching. Years. Okay. If you feel like it's something that's useful, put up a 9. I can just go get me some food or lay down, relax. Thank you. Bye. All right. 9999999. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Would you hold your button down on the 9? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So I said, please don't go. I'm not. I've been doing this for years. I'm not going to leave you. Okay. If you feel like it's inquire. If you maybe don't have all the money, you want to go in and let us do all of it for you, go to economicmasonry.com, or can somebody put the number up here that they can call? You can call that number, and you can go in right now and call that number, and somebody will speak to you. If you have the money, get the corp. If you don't have the money, maybe you want to put a down payment or something like that, they can help you. I'm just a teacher. They can help you. If you want to go in and let's say you don't have the money, you can get seed money. What about if you got a 680, sometimes even less, they can get you the money to buy your corp, get your office, get your credit together, get your website, get your everything. Seed money. Go to economicmasonry.com and go in. If you're looking for seed money, I want everybody to put up seed money right now. Just put in seed. Seed money is when you go and say, I don't have the money, but I want to get started. I want to go get my corp, go start my life, and go start getting some money, right? Put up seed money. I don't have the money right now. You want to go in and get, and they'll go get the seed money from the bank. If you have a 680, put in seed money. If you're putting up seed money right now, call that number, call them right now and say, Mr. Whitehead said to put in seed money. And I want to inquire about the seed, or go to economicmasonry.com right now and call them and say, I'm interested in the seed money. In the seed money. If you just feel like you want to go in and get like did you guys know that we also have a free, this is how much I want you to learn. We have a free real estate class. Free. There's no excuse. Free. We have a person that does the real deal, real estate. We teach from flipping all the way up to $500 million deals. There's people in there that don't know nothing about real estate, and people that are doing multi-million-dollar deals, and they're teaching each other. Do you know what it would cost to be in a class like that? This is free. I got a person in there, a little teeny thing, like Luita Gonzalez, a beast. A beast. And y'all know I don't hang with nobody except they got some sprots or got some money, right? She manages over 10,000 private homes and commercial properties. 10,000. I didn't say 100. That's a lot. 10,000. Section 8, all that stuff. She teaches all of that. Free class. If you want to go to free class, go in and call now and say $10,000 is mighty, mighty. Yes. So if you're interested in the free class, go in there and say, call about the free class. Go to economicmasonry.com and sign up, or call this number here and say, I want to talk about the free class. We have an affiliate program. Affiliate. If you want to teach what I'm teaching and you want to learn it, go in and be an affiliate. Put in affiliate when you go call this number and say, I want to learn how to be an affiliate and make money. Learn what I'm teaching, and I'll teach you more so that you can be smarter than everybody on that internet. Everybody. Dial the number. Economic Masonry, go in and dial that number. Now, if you have, let's say if you want to go in and just buy the corporation now, it's cheaper to buy the corporation straight out. If you have a credit card, swipe it and go buy the corp, because I'm going to throw in, if you need credit, I'm going to throw the credit in. Or if you need website, they're going to throw the website and all the other things in there for you. And it's going to be cheaper. If you buy the corp now, it is cheaper, much cheaper, because they don't have to go to the banks and fight to get you seed money. Okay, they don't have the banks to fight to get your seed money. So if you go in and get your corporation now, sign up now and say, call that number and say, I want to get started on this. Or maybe you don't have all the money. You can put a down payment down. Say, look, I want to go get it down, put a down payment down. Just hold my spot. Call the number. We can help you out. So now we want to go to question and answers. I have a great guy here that is underwriter. And can you take
What's going on, Derrick?
Can you take that name down, brother?
Let me go and figure that out. Hold on.
Because I don't want people thinking,
I didn't.
You're an underwriter.
Yeah, let me-
giving underwriter advice.
Let me figure that.
Underwriter advice. I don't want you.
I didn't type it in there, so I'm not sure how to untype it. Let me.
I don't want people to think you're giving underwriter advice.
Yeah, where do I didn't put that in there. It just came because I think that's how it's set up. Let me
Hey,
Where do
Ron,
you-
I can do it for you.
Yes, please
Ron,
take
can you
that.
tell me what name should you put?
oh cool.
Just Ron. Ron is good.
Just put Ron.
Ron. Okay, sure.
Yeah,
Perfect.
we don't want to look like we're giving underwriter advice. Okay.
It's done.
Exactly.
All right.
Got it. Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right. So remember, guys, go in and get your corporations now. We want you to succeed. Free real estate class. Free. All right. And y'all be ready because I can teach but so much. I can teach but so much in these limited amount of hours, right? But we're starting a community. And for like $40 or $49, you can go in and say you want to learn about trade lines. You want to learn about trade lines, or you want to learn about real estate, or you want to learn like a full lesson, or you want to learn about notes, or you want to learn about taking your company public. You want to learn about any of that stuff, credit, not just bits and pieces that I'm teaching you like how to do this in a small amount. You can go into that community, $49. Anybody would be interested in that, put up a 5 if you're interested in that. If not many people are interested, I won't do it. But a lot of people have been asking me, Mr. Whitehead, I want to know more. I want to know, and I can only answer but one question in question and answers because we got a lot of people. You want to go in and say, hey, $49 a month, we're going to put plenty of information up there constantly, learning constantly. We're going to go in and say, you want to learn about 504s, you want to learn about 506s, unlimited raise money. You want to learn about how to go in and build your corporation properly. You build it. All these things I'm going to keep putting 30 years of knowledge up in there, $49 a month. If enough people are saying they're interested, I will build it out. I'll build it out in a week. So you can go in and keep learning and you don't have to wait for Tuesday and Thursday. How about that? All right. I want you to learn. All right. So Ron, we have a great guest on before we go to question and answers. Can you open up the mics for question and answers? And remember, get the corporation is going to be a lot cheaper than if you go in and you get if you can just buy the corp now, you buy everything and it's cheaper. Okay, so open up the mics and let's go to question and answers. And we have a great guy on right now. I've known for years. And remember, I was telling you earlier about the 5 bureaus. The 5 bureaus, right? Now's your chance. Who's going to bring on people to teach you this stuff? High-end people. Nobody. All right. So nobody. So my man, Ron, I want to introduce Ron to you. Ron is going to come in and explain to you the importance of trade lines on your corporation. And he buys millions and millions of dollars of credit, debt, and it does reassignment of the debt. The only real way to put credit on your corporation. Ron, how you doing, brother? Nice to see you.
What's going on, Derrick? Thanks for letting me up here.
Thank you for coming, brother. I know you're a busy man.
Guys, not as busy as you. So here's how it works. So there's the 1% way and there's a 99% way. The masses are privileged to just basic classes online, right? We're told to build our Dun & Bradstreet. We're told to enhance our paydex, go to war for a paydex score that no bank has ever seen before. So your bank on their applications for funding, they don't ask for Dun & Bradstreet numbers. They don't ask to see your net 30s. Now, a couple of your net 30s can roll over to your Experian, but it's going to be very weak, $50 a month. Come on. So the strongest way to go after funding is to enhance an EIN. So your EIN, SSN, 9 digits long from the IRS, right? So that's your real business credit for a bank. Banks pull EINs and SSNs. What's up, Mark? Now, where we're going with this is you can actually add real aged credit with low balances. It's not something you could typically find online or even Google about. Very rare to do it this way. In the bank, we have a different set of rules and tools than they teach you guys. We have or purchase a 2-year plus aged shelf company the right way. So now we purchase an aged business the same reason why I would adopt an 18-year-old. I adopt an 18-year-old because age matters. I buy a 2-year-old aged LLC or an incorporation. Incorporations get more money because age matters to the bank. So if I adopt an 18-year-old and I walk the 18-year-old into the bank, first time funding sucks. He's going to get $200 or $300. But what happens if I go adopt an 18-year-old and I, as his new dad, have aged large credit cards with low balances, and I call my credit cards and I say, hey, I just adopted an 18-year-old. Can I add my credit to him or her? Yes. Now I just added my aged credit with low balances. So now I have business age and I have business credit, right? So I'm old enough to ask and strong enough to borrow. That kid doesn't need a cosigner and get larger credit cards on the first try, larger funding on the first try, no cosigner. Well, we take that same logic of adopting an aged human old enough to ask for funding and adding age credit strong enough to borrow. Well, I go and I purchase myself 2-year plus LLC or an incorporation. Since we work in the banking industry, we simply add age debt. We just reassign it. It was debt somewhere else. We put it on yours. Now your business has a $50,000, $100,000, or $1 million of aged credit that it didn't have 30 days ago. How long is this process? It takes me 1 day to buy an aged business, just if my business isn't old enough. It takes me 30 to 45 days to add real aged credit, loans and lines of credit to my EIN, which report over to Experian and the Small Business Financial Exchange. Well, now when I go into the bank, I have 2 aged accounts. Am I asking for first-time funding on my first try? I'm asking for major funding on the first try. And typically, if I do it right, lenders don't need my tax returns or bank statements tonight. I buy an aged business. I enhance my business credit. I fix my personal credit. I bring my balances down low on my personal credit cards. At the bank, we call it the rule of 3, the holy funding trinity. These 3 rules, business age, I can buy it, business credit, I can buy it, personal credit, I can pay someone, right? With these 3 rules right here, I can go to any bank or any major credit card company or any car dealership, and with no financials, no business phone number, it's my cell phone. Business location is wherever I live. No website, no financials. Just the rule of 3. Business age, I bought it. Business credit, I bought it. Personal credit, I got it, or I paid someone to fix it. Brought my balances down low. These 3 things, I qualify for $50,000, $75,000, $80,000, $100,000 credit cards on the first try. Because my business credit shows I borrowed $50,000 or $100,000 before, dropped it down to the floor, never missed the payment of over $1,000 a month. And you can simply have these attached. It's just a millionaire way. Everyone else does it this weird way of buying toilet paper and office supplies from the dumb and bad shit lies. I mean, DMB, dumb and bad shit to me. I've never had a DMB number. I've never had a paydex score. I don't even know what those are for. Sam's Club, a store. I'm going to the bank with business age. Business credit is my EIN, my Experian, my Small Business Financial Exchange. So those 3 things, right, gets me credit cards. And if I have low enough balances on my personal credit cards, gets me those 0% interest rates. If my credit card balances on my personal credit are under 10%, every bank's giving me that introductory rate of 8 months, 12 months, 18 months of 0%. I go to the car dealership, I'm gonna get 2, 3, 4 different vehicles with tiny interest rates and no down payment because my business credit has exceeded what was needed. I made it look like I borrowed something stronger than a car before, a loan or line of credit, dropped it down to the floor, never messed up before. Now, I know you guys want to get to something bigger, right? I know you guys want to get to that cash. You want loans and lines of credit? Okay. You need to create an operating business. The underwriter at the bank is looking for an operating business when giving away something he can't repossess. I don't need your phone number, website, or office space at the bank when I can take away your car. So I can give you a car because I'll take it away. I could take away your credit card, your credit line, but I can't take away a loan. And if you take out a credit line, a line of credit, and you pay it, you use it all in one day, I can't take it away. So I'm scared of you. I want to make sure you're operating. In an operating business, with the rule of three, $50,000 credit card just came in the mail. 3 more are on the way. Swipe this one credit card 3 times this way. Business phone number 411 listed, commercial number, because a real operating business has a real operating phone number. If I happen to purchase an aged business, I should have an aged website, just like Eric was saying. The bank will go to .com and put your website in there. It's going to say, hey, you started a Wix GoDaddy 3 days ago, but the company's 3 years old. It looks weird. How'd you do business before the website? So now I go and I purchase myself an aged website. We use specific people out. There's a million people who do it. We use an aged website that matches the age of the business. It takes 3 or 4 days to create. So now I have business phone number, business website. Last is business office, where the internet lies to you. They're going to tell you guys to get Regis, Opus, Da Vinci, iPostal.shit, LoopNet, or Alliance. You're no longer in cash funding compliance. Now the bank has denied you. Most banks, if you start off with a virtual office and you try to walk into a bank, they say no bank account for you. You look like a fool. You're doing it wrong. You work inside a P.O. box. You work inside a Staples. This doesn't make sense. A shared office doesn't make sense. The bank wants to see a real office. And a lot of us go, oh, those are expensive. Get an executive suite. It's a tiny office called an executive suite. And all it is you can put your arms out and touch all 4 walls. So the square footage is tiny, but you have a lease. And nobody else on Google can say, hey, I'm at suite 100. Like on a Regis office, everyone in your city has floor 2, suite 100. And the banks Google your address, and 20 other companies are registered in the same exact space. You know what happens if 2 cars enter the same lane? It's called an accident. You know what happens if 2 businesses are in the same office? The bank calls it an accident. This doesn't make sense. So business H, business credit, business owner's credit, the rule of 3. You can buy those pieces. You can buy a shelf company if you don't happen to have a 2-year company. Just buy a shelf company that's 2 years old. When you buy it, you're going to register it. You're going to buy it from a specific state, because you can't just buy one in your state. Your state will stamp on, this guy just bought it yesterday. There's about 3, 4, 5 different states in the United States. There's a small handful out of all of them that do not put who owns the company. So if you buy it in the right state and then you foreign file it, which is just a paper, 1 paper on your Secretary of State, hey, my company's over here, I'm moving it here. Now you have an aged business in your state. Banks love to fund businesses that are no further away than 32 miles from the owner's address. So if you're a young company, 32 miles. If you're a Fortune 500 company, you're like Elon Musk, you could live across the world and they'll still fund your company. But if you're not a Fortune 500 company, you're not traded on the NASDAQ, you better be within 32 miles of your home. Business age, business credit, business owner's credit. We call it the rule of 3. It literally is the holy funding trinity. You can kick out, if you don't need loans and lines of credit, you can hold back the business phone number, the website, the office space expense, right? If you don't need a phone number, website, or office space because you don't need a loan or line of credit, you just want large credit cards and vehicles and equipment financing, stick with the rule of 3. Once you have the rule of 3, at some point you might desire a loan or a line of credit. Go with the rule of 6. Just take the credit card and swipe it for a phone number, a website, and office space. Now that you have a phone number, a website, and an office space, well, you have an operating business. All operating businesses I can call, I can find online, I can walk in their front door. I don't need your tax returns or bank statements anymore because you made your business. Number 1, your business structure has exceeded what's needed, and your business credit. Maybe you added a $50,000 aged loan or line of credit with a low balance to your aged business. Well, if we ask for $50,000 because we borrowed $50,000 before, dropped it down to the floor, handled over $1,000 a month before, the banks typically give around what we borrowed before, sometimes more, just like personal credit. If you show on your credit report that you're there, you You can get there. And this stuff anyone can do, but most people will do the DMB way first and they'll realize that it sucks. They spent $3,000, $4,000 in 9 months filling up their house with toilet paper and office supplies and net 30 lies. And 9, 10 months later, after they spent $3-4 grand, they get a $6,500 Sam's Club card. And they're like, but I was told I was going to get 20 grand. Guys, you only get 20 grand if you're managing like an $800 a month net 30 from one lender. But your payment trend is $50 to $100 a month and a $60 NAV account. That doesn't count. You can't go to the bank. And if you want to go to the bank, fix your personal credit. The only reason why you're building the dumb and bad shit builder is because you Googled, how do I get around the no PG? You should have just Googled, how do I get some guru to steal my money from me? Yeah, the net 30 lies from those guys. I mean, I've never bought toilet paper and office supplies, guys, because the bank doesn't ask for it. And if you've ever seen, you probably haven't seen it. If you've ever seen a business application, take your finger, hit your bank app, any bank, pull up a business credit card application. They're free. Business loan application. They're free on every bank website. Nowhere will it say enter a DMB. So banks don't pull paydex scores. Those are for stores. Quail, Granger, Home Depot, Tiger Direct, Sam's Club, and gas stations. And there you go. You're done. So, and the Sam's Club is slowly merging 100% over by next year to Experian. The DMB builder, too many people have manipulated. The government fired Dun & Bradstreet from government contracts in 2022. 2 days after they fired him, the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, sued Dun & Bradstreet for bullshitting people about the value of the DMB product. It actually states it like that. It says DMB got in trouble for deceiving the business owners about the value of the DMB product. It's business funding, but for stores. Hey, what's going on, Jason? But this is it. If you guys have businesses and they're over 2 years old, they've been registered on the Secretary of State for over 2 years. They're active on the Secretary of State for at least over a year, but at least 2 years old. Some people don't pay their fees. So this is the millionaire play. We don't buy toilet paper and TP at $50 a month. There's no way that we're going to get big trusted for a $50,000. I mean, do the math, guys. If you had a calculator, you'd put $50,000 in the calculator. You would add about 6 to 10% of interest. You would divide it by 60, that's 5 years, 60, and you're at $840 to $880 a month. There's no way showing a bank that you're managing under $100 a month per vendor that they're going to trust that you can handle $800. But add a $50,000 aged loan or line of credit with a low balance to your Experian, your small business financial exchange, and all you have to do is ask Derrick how he does it, and he'll tell you. And that's really how it works, guys. And it's an easy play. It's just hard here. The hardest thing about getting your business really funded in a fast, right way, it's your head. Because nobody wants to fix their credit. I had a 597. I paid someone to fix my credit years ago. I went to a 745. I just checked my credit on Experian just the other day. I was at an 846. I'm 4 points away from the number I want to hit. I want to hit that 850. I'm so close. But it took years, took 6 years. In 3 months, I got it from a 597 to a 745 just by paying someone to wipe off collections, charge-offs, late payments, a repossession of an 05 Mustang. And you guys, if I can do it, you can too. I paid someone to wipe out my negatives. And I never, again, because I was never going to mess up. After I paid someone a mic and I got that seed money to do this, before I couldn't borrow $1. Banks are laughing at me. Then I'm an age with positive aid. I went to my bank and said, "Can I borrow $6?" And they said, "That's it?" I said, "Yeah." I took the $6,000, $2,000 of it, a couple thousand of it. I bought an business. I enhanced the business. I went to the bank 45 days later. Pay me 50 total at 7 months later, but now I got 2 in my garage and a house because of it. Then, now that I have 1 age business, I enhance the business credit by just putting a $50,000 aged account with a low balance on my Experian small business financial exchange. The banking system is a small business financial exchange. Now that I'm old enough to ask strong enough to borrow, I personally added phone numbers, websites, and office spaces. I used a funding company that charged me 10% on the back end, but I'd rather have 90% of a shit ton of money than 100% of something funny. So I contracted a company that charged me nothing up front and 10% on the back end. They got 6 lenders to fund my company $50,000 each. I had a $50,000 aged account, so they hit the submit button to 6 applications at the same time for me. Their computer software went submit to all 5 or to all 6. I ended up with $300,000. I ended up with over $150,000 in credit cards, $300,000 in cash loans. I did this times 3 companies. You can have 3 kids and co-sign for all 3 of them at the same bank. You can have 3 businesses and co-sign for all 3 of them at the same bank. Once you have all this money, now opportunities aren't passing you by. Someone says, "Hey, you want to flip a house with me? 25,000 and 25,000 in 4 or 5 months. We'll make an extra 10 grand each." Instead of saying, "Oh, not this time. I don't have the money. I don't know how to get to the money. Oh, maybe next time." You had the money. It's available. Okay, I can do it. Where do I got to pay? Let's flip this house today. Let's buy something for cheap and sell something for more, right? So that's what I do. When I go after funding, I personally buy aged businesses, enhance the business credit, fix my personal credit, add a phone number, website, location done right, bypass the financials because I have the credit. And that's really it. If any of you guys are really close, I mean, a lot of you guys already have positive personal credit. That means you're 45 days away from a 6-figure funding play. Because if you only have positive credit, no business, it takes 1 day to buy a business. It takes 30 to 45 days to enhance the business credit to show up on your business credit reports. You'll have the rule of 3, get giant credit cards like me. Take the credit cards by phone number, website, office space done right. Go back to your lenders. Ask for loans and lines of credit. No tax returns or financials are needed because your business credit and structure. Now, we're not asking for 100,000 per lender. That, even if you build the business credit, they might slow you down. You can ask for a $50,000 loan and $50,000 line of credit at each lender, which is only 50 and 50. They're not looking at it as 100. So now you have 3 banks giving you 100,000. You'll have 300,000 plus credit cards. But that's how it works. That's exactly how it works. If any of you guys want to jump on and ask me a question about business funding or how to set up a company, anything, or where you're at, suggestion, I can give you suggestions.
All right. So
Okay.
what I want to do is, Ron, can you explain, let's see. I want to go on and share my computer here. And this is
You're looking at a credit report?
yes, this is a credit report. Okay. All right. Lines
I love it.
that are on a credit report. And let's see if we can open this up. Okay, here. All right. Can you go through this real quick and explain what this is?
Yes, I can. So guys, this is an Experian business credit report. If you notice he's got an 85, that is not a Paydex score. That is an Experian business credit report. That 85 right there, if you look next to it, there's a gauge, like someone stepping on the gas. Just like a Paydex score, 80 is really good. Now Experian goes up to 100. 85 is insane. Anything over a 76 is beautiful. As you can see, it's in the darkest of greens. Now, if we scroll down, and this just like an 800 credit score. Oh, a 2. You can see where it is at the green. Now there's a little box. That other green box to the right of the 2 would say there's a 1.11% chance of severe financial stress within 365 days, within 12 months. So it means there's 99% chance, no problem on this credit report. So an 85 says whatever is on this credit report is beautiful. A 2 says this company never screws up. They have a 1% chance of failure within a year.
Economic Masonry.
So that's 99% chance, no problem. Ones and twos are good.
Webinar, and you can see this.
3, 4, 5, no good. And then if we scroll down toward like the last, or where there's going to be 2 green boxes, box with green, it'll show a payment trend. Let's see where we're at. Oh, we got a 1 right there. There we go. That's a 0.5% chance of risk. That's no risk. That's under 0. So there we go. There's some good numbers right there. So right there, you see these little green boxes, guys. That's a payment trend. It means whatever is on here has never ever been late, even once. Because that's green all the way up. Give me 1 second.
Remind you guys, this guy has a bank, and he buys millions and millions and millions of dollars of debt.
So, and this is a let's look and see what's on this report. I see Derrick has pulled a Experian small business financial report, which is rare for someone to pull the right way. Most people only know how to pull just Experian. Now, if we look at the bottom, there's a recent high credit. Looks like Derrick has taken out a $200,000 loan and paid back $150,000, only a balance of 54 and 100% current. Then we have a $300,000 loan, paid back $241,000. You know what banks and all the way activity date, when we look to the left, one loan took it out in November 2022, the other September 2023. This tells the lender that Derrick's been making giant monthly payments, or whoever's credit report this is, been making giant monthly payments. Never missed one at all. Since 2022, you got to do the math on how much you would have to pay each month to bring down that kind of money, right? They're large. Now the bank goes, oh, well, we know he can handle 200 and 300, that he's handling 500,000. We know that he can pay it down without ever being late. So if we fund him this kind of money, why would he be late with us? His personal credit never late, his business credit never late. Why would he start with us? So now we can trust that he can handle that kind of money. And he's going to get larger amounts than someone who has a credit report that says they manage 20,000 or they manage net 30s at $100 a month. Now you have an SBFE down there. Small Business Financial Exchange only show balances when looking at the report. So that's not what those at the 38,007, the 38,007, 38,007, the 55,400, the 12,007, and the 55,004. This is multiple accounts. And you know, Derrick and I've seen this report before. I know that's $1 million, 50,000 at the bottom, and you brought the balance down to super low on that. So over $1 million on the bottom row, 500,000 on the top row. So out of 500,000, Derrick's paid down about almost 400,000. Out of $1 million, he's paid back. It looks to be about 30, 69. You only owe about less than 200,000. So you pay back over $800,000. How do you think lenders look at that? So you can have an 800 credit score. Let's say you have a 750 personal credit score and I have a 750. Obviously, we're not a score because I'm getting funded more because I borrowed more before, dropped it down to the floor, never missed a payment before. So we could have the same score, but I'm going to get bigger funding because I've been bigger before. So lenders don't just look the greatest number or to look at what borrowed before, dropped onto the floor, screwed any of our friends before. So this is beautiful. And you guys can do this. You guys can build your business credit and make it look just like this if you wanted to. Most people don't have to go so big. If you don't have financials, then you don't have to go so big. But if you do, and you can ask Derrick where to go to do this kind of stuff. I mean, you guys have the biggest guru on the line right there. I follow and watch Derrick for years. He's probably the only one giving up information that makes sense. Oh, there we go. That's a Small Business Financial Exchange account. Okay, so check this out. Same company. We can see on about the 5th or 6th line down, it says 3/7/23. So date the account was open. So this is aged to 2023, but at the bottom, what's about, he borrowed $350,000. And then if we scroll down a little bit more, we're going to see a small balance off of 350. So now this is an open-ended line of credit. Look, only $38,000 owed. And this is, just to let you guys know, this is actually debt that was reassigned. So this debt was reassigned. Didn't borrow 350, but someone did, and it was reassigned over to Alpha Incorporated, and it shows a balance. Now that balance is not Alpha's balance. That balance will go down on its own over the next 6 months because you want to show a bank that you go to that you're actually actively managing money today. Not a long time ago, 2 years ago, you paid off a debt, you haven't made a payment in 2 years. That doesn't help people lender at all. So this is an open account of $350,000 on a line of credit with a low balance. And I like lines of credit instead of loans for one big reason. A lender will hold that monthly payment against you. Even if you owe just a small amount of money left, they're gonna be like, wow, on a loan, you have a $4,000 monthly payment on $300,000 a month. Ugh. But on a line of credit, the lower you owe, the lower your monthly payment will go. So now the lender goes, oh, you have a small monthly payment. You don't have a monthly payment on 350. You just have a monthly payment on 38,000. That's tiny. That's even smaller. Now you're only paying, let's see, off of 38,000, $1,200 a month. So now you're showing lender the right way. So you're assigning age credit with low balances. And now what do lenders need to see? That you borrow money like you're asking for. Loans and lines of credit are the strongest thing you could show up on a credit report. And you've never missed a payment like you're trying to prove to lenders you're managing. And just a lot of people say, well, how come I don't have to show my financials? Because every time I go into the bank, they ask me for my financials. Well, here's a story that should be almost all of our story. When we were kids, we had a $300 and a $600 beginner credit card. A few months later, we had a 720 credit score. We're like, oh, man, I'm going to go get that car. We go to the car dealership and we're 18, 19, or 20. And we say, I got credit like my dad. And we go in and they go, whoa, 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 youngster. You have light credit. Your dad has a mortgage, has 10 trucks that he's paid off. He has credit cards with low balances. You have 2 tiny credit cards. Your credit score is good, but not strong enough. And you go, well, what do? They go, I need your financials. You're like, what do you need? I need your 2 paycheck stubs and 5 of your friends' phone numbers and emails. Now, they ask you for those paycheck stubs and they give you the vehicle if you make enough money. Now, 3-4 years later, you pay off that car, you go back to the same dealer, you got a better job, you remembered they needed 2 paycheck stubs, you bring those 2 paycheck stubs and they laugh at you. You go, what do you bring those for? They go, well, you needed those last time. They go, well, last time you didn't have the credit. You never borrowed something like this before, dropped it down to the floor, but your credit shows larger credit cards now. That car loan you paid down without ever missing a payment. I don't need your financials anymore. Here's your vehicle. It's the same. You're going to the same bank instead of a human that's borrowed money before and dropped it down the floor. You're a business that's borrowed money before, $350,000, dropped it down the floor, never missed a payment before. Now lenders are looking at you in a big way on the first time. And that 350,000 that's on that credit report right there, well, I can't see. Oh, we have the next credit report. That one says 250. The last one is 350. This is 250. That wasn't there 45 days ago. It's now there. It's backdated, low balance. Lenders will look at this company and go, wow, we trust Experian. We trust the Small Business Financial Exchange. Wow, you borrowed this kind of money, paid it down. We want to lend you the same kind of money times 2, 3, or 4 because you might have multiple lenders. And this is the way we do it. And it's just something different. Everyone else, they have to do the DMB way. And, we've never purchased in Bradstreet before. We've never bought a net. I've never needed Quill or Granger. And that takes you long. That takes a long time. I can buy an aged business today. I can enhance the business credit 30 to 45 days, sometimes less. And I'm off to the bank asking for giant credit cards and vehicles. I can take the credit cards. They only take 5 days to show up in the mail. And I can buy a phone number, a website, and office space. Now I'm going to have loans and lines of credit. Now, after I get the loans in line and credit cards, I can turn that money into more money. 2 years later, what do I have? 2 years of tax returns and bank statements. Now I have the rule of 7, financials, slingshotting my business funding to heaven. I'm going way up there. So if you understand the underwriter and what they're looking at 6 rules. They have the rule of 7, but they don't need that rule. They don't need the financials if you have the credit. What's going on? What's going on, Magic Money? It sound like you got a question. Thank you. But it's just what we do, right? It's there's a 1% there, there's a 99% and the 1%. If you want what the 1% has, you have to do something different than the 99%. The 99%, they're the masses. They're just privileged to the D&B classes. Hey, Ron, can we work together? Hey, UCC. I remember when those things were a big thing, but then now the UCC one filing it hurts a little bit if you add that to a business. But guys, I'm just about a ton of knowledge. I'm a professional borrower.
Okay, what I want to do is I want to open your mics and we're going to call who has a question. Anybody that has a question for Ron, put your hand up. Let's see. Who has a question for Ron? Open your mic.
I've got a question for Ron.
Yes, sir. Monty, what's your question, brother?
Hey, Ron. So I was wondering, in the case of, say, you acquiring, say, at least 5 trade lines with like different age trade lines, and then you're good on the PG status, would you happen to be able to get the age corporation without the PG funding it and just get the funding on the Corp on its own, since it's acquired 5 trade lines?
You can definitely do that if you have a time machine. So if you have a time machine and you go back before COVID, when banks were offering no PG, you could do that. But if you don't have a time machine and you don't know Marty and the doc, then you have to use your personal credit. So this is the reason why people do the dumb and bad shit builder. They fucked up their credit. They don't want to show the bank that they're a bad borrower. And so the bank won't do business with you anymore. So you have to have positive credit. It just is what it is. You can have $1 million of positive credit on the business. It's not going to change the game at the bank. You'd have to go to some sideways lender that do no personal guarantee with a horrible interest rate, like a merchant trash advance loan. And that's a killer loan. You'll lose. They take money out of your bank every day. That's the only thing you can do with bad credit. So if you want what the bank gives good interest rates and large funding, fair funding with small interest rates. You have to have the positive credit with the low balances, or your bank, my bank, his bank, no bank is funding you anymore. That ended a long time ago.
Or let's say with the personal, like the personal would be great, like in the excellent category, but then trying to put on the trade lines just for the business and have the business get funded as though it's already been funded before, kind of thing, because it has a credit line.
Well, you're still using your personal credit. The banks are not taking the risk. So the banks just don't. Now, when we reassign the debt, we're reassigning no PG debt. Is we didn't ask our client for a social security number, so we're reassigning it just to the EIN and the EIN. But even that, the banks don't do that. Years ago, we used to say, "Don't worry, no PG for you and me." It doesn't work that way anymore. Just the banking system changed when the world changed. And so, if you could only imagine how many companies went out of business with the bank's money in their hand during COVID. So the banks had to lock up the no PG. So we've tried everything. There's nothing right now for a bank. Now, here's what you can do. You can use your personal credit in the beginning, having positive credit, since you have positive credit. So many months or a year later, while you're making that payment, you can actually take yourself off as a PG. You contact the lender, they see perfect credit history, they trust you, and you just say, "Hey, can I take myself off as a PG?" And they say yes, as long as everything's been positive.
All right, fair enough.
So that's the only way.
Or something like that to get in there. It's like, well, I don't even have to put my liability on there. So.
Well, here's the cool thing. Knowing that there's good credit repair people out there, right? Let's say like during COVID, I got crushed, right? Car dealership, nightclub, rent-a-car company, exotic rent-a-car company, right? Lambos, Ferraris. Nobody was renting anything. Nobody was allowed in the club. The fire department shut down our club because we kept it open. So they found that out. And then so I got shut down. Everything got shut down. Yeah, we stayed open. And then so everything got shut down and you lose everything. Now, our personal credit went to shit, right?
Right.
Our business credit went to crap. Well, who cares? I threw those businesses in a trash can and let them dissolve themselves. Bye, businesses. Whatever. They're gone. Lenders hit them with a collection of charges, which rolled over to the PG, me, right? Well, I had a lot of the bank's money still in my bank account because I didn't use all those loans yet. So I still had hundreds of thousands of dollars sitting around that they didn't get paid back. What did I do? Did I cry? No. I paid the credit guy. 3.5 months later, 3-4 months later, I went from shit credit to good credit again. Took the negatives off. Had the high 700s again. I was floating, just sitting around. I had other investments that were still working. Lost my favorite companies, right? And right there, again, I just redid it. Bought an aged business, enhanced the business credit, fixed my personal credit. 4 months later, I started over. I borrowed a
Rachel,
lot of
can
money.
you cut
and I put my money into
Anthony's
something.
mic? Rachel, can you cut Anthony's mic?
Yes, Mr. Derrick.
So I just redid it. So and you can't screw over every bank though. I didn't do it on purpose. COVID did that to everyone. But if you screw it, like I still had American Express cards with those. I did not stop paying those. I didn't go into collections or anything. I still paid those even though the company was under, because American Express, they don't forget you and they'll never let you have one again. So
Yeah.
I like American Express. But other than that, it's
What's that?
use your personal credit. That's the reason why we have it, right? What's the point of having it if we're not using it? Use it because it gets you that big funding. The bank says, you know what? You graduated the high school of credit. If you haven't graduated the high school of credit, and you know, if you missed every day in high school, 1-2 times a week in high school, they're not going to let you go to college. Because college, if you miss 3 days, you lost your investment. They don't let you in the classroom anymore. So if you screwed up in high school, they don't let you go to college. And your credit, your personal credit's a future representation of your business credit.
All right, thank
So
you,
banks
brother.
say, well, let me take a look at that.
Thank
And
you.
if you don't
Thank
know
you,
how to
Monty.
manage credit after 18 years.
Thank you, Monty, for your question. How about Brittany? What's your question, Brittany?
Hey, Mr. Derrick. Are you up, Prince? My son wanted. I do have a question for him, but Prince wanted to know what state you were in tonight, and he reminded me that we had class tonight because I was a little late. So Prince wanted to know what state you're in. He won't go to sleep.
Tonight I'm in California. Tomorrow I'll be in Florida.
You heard him? You knew he was in Cali? Okay, let me ask my question. Okay. Okay, so look, I just cleared my personal credit. So I'm like an 18-year-old, I guess. So basically I'm just gonna buy the other people's, buy it to be on other people's bank account or buy it to be on other people's credit so that I look good so I can go ahead to the bank quickly instead of slowly, correct?
That
I'm
means
just
you
making
can
sure
go
I got
in
it
and
right.
reassign the debt to your company and look better than you did without any credit. How about that?
Yes. Okay, I'm super excited. Thank you so much,
Yeah, so
Mr.
I hear what you're saying. You're gonna do some authorized users to your personal credit, right? Because you just wiped it, just cleaned it. So when you do the authorized users, here's how you don't have to do it this way, but here's how I did it because I had to pay a professional too, right? I wiped my debt out when I was 35. I'm 44 now. I was driving a $10,000 car, right? Because with the bazillion percent rate, nobody giving me credit cards since I was in my 20s. Nobody giving me anything. I worked somewhere, I lived in my apartment. Now I have a $1.8 million condo in Orange County, condos in different countries on the beach, on resorts and stuff. And I didn't have that 10 years ago. I was going, oh man, driving my 05 Mustang. I have 6 vehicles. I'm about to buy a motorcycle right now. I don't even have a license for a motorcycle or know how to drive it, but I'm 44. I think I'm going through a midlife crisis. So I'm going to purchase one. And here's so you have no credit. It's basically white. What you want to do is add 1 or 2 authorized users. They don't have to be super aged or anything because it's not going to do as big. It's going to make your score jump, But remember, you're not just a score. You're what you borrowed before. And still, you haven't borrowed anything adding someone else's credit because the lender can see authorized user next to it says AU. Now, an authorized user is the same thing as when your mom said, if you hang out with that group over there and they're losers, you're going to be the third loser. You hang out with that group over there, they're all winners. You're going to be the third winner. Well, an authorized user that's positive shows that you hang out in a group of people that are winners. And the bank goes, you know what? Instead of starting you off with a $300 or $600 credit card, we're going to start you off with $3,000, $4,000, $1,000, $2,000, way higher than baby credit. When you put the authorized user on, you should wait 3 months and ask for get a credit card, wait 3 months on using the credit card, ask for an increase. Capital One's a good one to ask for soft pull increases where they don't run your credit when they do an increase. But yeah, just do your best to first start off with authorized users, get yourself 2 credit cards, maybe 3-4 months after the authorized users are on there, after it's reported 2 or 3 payments. Try to get 2 credit cards, fill them out at the same time online.
Well, what I'm doing is giving my money to Mr. Derrick so that they can do everything.
And you got it. So then you got a good guy. Now you don't have to worry about anything. You have a professional. There's so many people online that they got this easy. They got 3 things that trick us online. They say 3 things. I'm the cheapest, I'm the fastest, I'm the best, and they steal your money like the rest. So easy. Hey, I'm cheaper. I sell Ferraris for 20,000. You want to buy it? Send me your money. There's no Ferrari for 20 grand.
All right, thank you, Brittany, for your question. How about let's do Rudolph? We got a lot of questions. Let's see if we can do this in a minute. Rudolph Jones, what's your question, brother?
My question was for you.
Yes, sir.
I was waiting on that. I was waiting on that still question.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Okay. When we get the corporation and go get funded and everything, when should
You're breaking up. Where should we what? Okay, you're breaking up. You're breaking up. Where should what? I didn't hear you.
And once we get the corporation and get it set up and everything, and go get funded, when should we start using or adding DBAs and how many?
You're going to add the DBAs, do all that before you get the funding.
You're going to add the DBAs, do all that before you get the funding.
Got it?
Okay. Well, that's it. Okay. Yeah, I got it. Appreciate it.
You're welcome, brother. Is there a lady now? We go from gentleman to lady. Is there a lady with a question?
I have a question.
Yes. What's your name? Where you from? Let's see if we can do this in a minute.
My name is Margaret. I'm from Pittsburgh. How you doing, Derrick?
God got me up, sister. How's it going?
I'm trying to figure out how to pull this trigger. I wanted to ask Ron about trade mats. Who sells trade mats? Okay, I got a $25,000 credit card, right? But my optimization is going to go sky high. My credit score is going to dive. So I'm trying to figure this thing out.
Okay, so we're talking about business trade lines, right? That's what we're talking about.
Well, I have a C Corp business also, but it's too young.
I understand, but you want to have business trade lines is what we're talking about right now. We want to make sure.
Yeah, on my personal.
We want to make sure we're not talking about personal. We're talking business trade lines right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
How old is your business?
My business, I started in June.
Okay, so brand new. Got it.
Brand new.
June,
This is
July,
C-Corp.
August, September, October, November. Now, I'll tell you this. If you were to enhance the business credit, right? Yes, you're not ready for loans or lines of credit, but your company is old enough to go after large credit cards and vehicles and equipment. The credit cards, they're just as good as cash if you know how to cash them out. It's not too hard. Your friend has a Square account or or any account that says, hey, I take credit cards, people have PayPal, they send you an invoice, right? And then they send you an invoice. And then what do you do with that? You pay it with your business credit card. Where's the money go? Into your friend's account or your whoever said that at a tiny interest rate. They hand it back to you. You use it as cash, Stripe, any of that. Yes. So you can always cash out a credit card with the tiny interest rate instead of calling the credit card and saying, hey, you want to take all my money? And how much can I have out of 20? They're only going to let you take 4. But if you run it as a payment every week, it'll turn into cash into another bank account. So you can get $50,000 credit cards times 2, 3, or 4 with the young company if you make it look like you borrowed $50,000 before and dropped it down. So you can do that, and Derrick can help you with that, with enhancing the business credit. It's about a 30 to 45 day play, but you can still use that. If you don't, you could always buy a shelf company too. You know, talk to Derrick about that.
That's what I want to buy.
You buy
Okay,
an age
so
compliant shelf company.
So take down Rachel, take down her name and number, and have somebody give her a call. Lowita, give her a call. Okay.
Yes, Mr. Derrick. Ma'am, can you put in your information in the chat box so I can send it over to Louisa? Thank you.
All right. How about Capitalist Clyde? What's your question, brother? Let's see if we can do this in a minute.
Yes. Yeah, my question is for Ron. I didn't really get the part about when you said you bring your 18-year-old in and that part I got lost on.
Okay, so that was just an analogy, but check this out. Yeah, that was an analogy just to make it make sense. So watch this. If you and me are at a bar and we don't have any kids, and you go, you know, when I watch Derrick and I watch all these people online, and I think I could have a kid and get them funded more than you could have a kid you can have a kid, Ron. And then I go, okay, let's race. Well, you go home with some girl. I go home by myself. 9 months later, you send me a picture of a little tiny baby. You say, Ronnie, I'm already winning the race. But I send you a video of an 18-year-old getting his own car loan with no cosigner, getting giant credit cards, getting student loans, no cosigner, getting an apartment, right? No cosigner. And you're like, hey, you cheated. We both left that bar with no kid.
Do not put your phone number in there. Take your phone number down, please.
What do you call it?
Take your phone number down. 1 second, Ron.
I would adopt an 18-year-old human. I would adopt an 18-year-old human. And all I'm saying is a human can adopt an 18-year-old human, and a human can add their aged credit to the 18-year-old human, right? So if I adopt an 18-year-old, I adopted the age requirement. And all I'm saying is that you can adopt an aged business. You can adopt the age requirement, right? And because anyone can do it. I can buy an aged business. Elon Musk bought Twitter. It was aged. But I'm going to buy a blank one that's cheap because it's not operating. It's just active on the Secretary of State. So I'm going to buy an aged business the same way I would adopt an 18-year-old human, old enough to ask. But both of them not strong enough to borrow. So as the dad, I'm going to add my aged credit cards, low balances to my 18-year-old called authorized users. Well, my kid right out the gate is getting funded. He doesn't have to wait 18 years. So all I'm saying is that you can adopt an aged business and add aged business
Please
credit.
do not
with low
put your
balances.
number in the chat there for everybody to see. We have a lot of people acting like me, a lot of frauds, and there's people who are actually coming on to this webinar, and they are frauds, and they're coming in saying that they are Derrick Whitehead. So if you go on to economicmasonry.com website, that is the only number that we have. If anybody gives you any other number other than the number that's on our website, they are frauds. And we will never ask you for money online for Bitcoin or any other investments. We are professionals.
And Derrick will never sound like an Indian person picking up the phone. So if it's not Derrick, it's not Derrick.
I'm kind of confused about the part about, because you said they're going to see AUs.
No,
so
brother, listen, brother. You're putting trade lines. You're putting trade lines on a corporation.
Let's pretend like we're not talking about personal credit. we're putting business. All I'm saying is that screw the human. What I'm trying to bring up is a lot of people don't understand the business side. So when I bring up the business side with a human side, then it makes sense. You go, oh, you could adopt an aged human, and you could add your credit. You're the dad. You could add your credit to the human that you just adopted, and the banks would fund it. Okay, how do you do that with the business? You buy an aged shell company over 2 years old, and you add aged real credit, not authorized use, but we transfer debt over, which would be a loan or a line of credit. Now you have an aged business with a real aged business credit. That's what I'm saying. The personal side, I was just trying to make an analogy to someone who doesn't understand the business side. So I buy an aged business credit to Experian and one to the small business financial exchange.
Okay, so what we're saying here, brother, is simple. We put business credit lines on your corporation, and your corporation is now looking a lot better than if it didn't have any trade lines. Simple. Make sense?
Gotcha. Thank you.
Okay.
Yep, make a lot of sense. Thank you.
How
Thank you,
about-
Ron. Thank you.
You're welcome, brother. If anybody is interested in trade lines, please do not put your number in the chat. Send it directly to Rachel. Rachel, can you tell them how to put their number in? Because people here will call you because they see your number on here. They're slime dogs. They're on here acting like they're me. And they're looking for you to put your number in there so that they can call you and say, hey, I'm Derrick Whitehead. So the only number that you should be calling or should be coming to you should be economicmasonry.com. Go look at that number on the website. Okay.
And
Now you
ultimately,
see how someone just put a number up here and they said text to call.
Yes, Mr. Derrick. And everyone, don't share your number with everyone. Send it directly to the host and panelists so that Mr. Derrick and I can see it. No need to broadcast it to the whole group.
So someone just put up a number that said, 323-379. I don't know who that is.
I saw someone says.
I have
an
no
LLC
idea.
or a business credit.
No idea who that is.
And now I have a new C Corp. Will that help? Well, no, if you have a new company, it's not rolling over to your other company. You're saying a completely different company. That's ELOI. Deva. So you'd want to build the business credit. And what kind of business credit are we talking about? Net 30s, which doesn't help. Am I on here? But yeah, so I saw that on there. But if you have a new company, if you had an LLC and then now you made the same name but a C Corp and it says on the Secretary of State the date is like yesterday, well, that's a new company, right? So you just have to see how you did it. If it still has the age, then you're good. But if you're a completely separate entity, then you have to build the business credit. Just contact Derrick. He'll just walk you right through how to get it done.
Okay, Roger D.
I don't know if you can hear me now.
Roger D.
Okay.
Roger D. You just put your number up there. If someone calls you and it's not our website number, it is not us. I asked you not to put your number in there. Put your number directly to Rachel. So
Mr. Derrick,
people are
that's
on
okay,
here.
Mr. Derrick.
Huh?
That is okay, Mr. Derrick. That's host and panelists. Me and you can only see it, not everyone.
Okay, got it. So make sure you look out for these frauds. Anyone that's out here, we have 500 people acting like me that are frauding people just on Instagram. We have 325 people on TikTok taking my information, acting like me. So far, it's about 1,000 people. So what we've done is we have one number that's on our website. If that is not the number you're calling the wrong number. Go to economicmasonry.com, and I have changed my picture from red to a black suit with the number. So they should not be able to duplicate that number. So that will kill all you frauds. Okay, so now let's go
Someone says, Brittany asked, help me. So an aged company means just, yes. So an aged company, the bank looks at the age, not of the EIN. Bank doesn't care about your age EIN. They care about the Secretary of State. That dictates the age of the company. So you registered on the Secretary of State and it stamps when you started that company.
Taxes or anything on it, just register it and then let it age.
Well, who's speaking?
You could start a brand new company and wait.
Do me a favor. Let me call the people that are speaking so we don't talk over each other. So
got it.
Who speak? Brittany. Let me call Brittany. Your name, Brittany. And so, what was your question, Brittany?
I was saying, like, you know, I just register a company on the Secretary of State and just pay the Secretary of State. Like, you don't do the taxes for the company every year, or you just have it on the Secretary of State website.
Do we do the taxes?
I mean, you still need to file your taxes, right? Because you don't want to get in trouble. Because so you still file if you've owned the company from day one, you file it, which means if you didn't make any money, you don't own the taxes, but you still have to file it, right? So the state and the federal government know you don't owe them money.
Okay.
If you're buying an aged business, you only file future taxes.
I want everybody out there to also know that age corporations. I want everybody to know that age corporations come from many places. They can come from attorneys. If the attorney buys it and he puts his name on it. So don't be surprised that you look in and see that there's someone else's name on it. But and they come from different sources. So sometimes you may have to go in and change that name a couple of times, but that's okay. That's part of the system. This is not an instant get rich plan. Everybody is different. And as we go in, we take care of and evaluate everyone. That's the difference in us and everybody else. We evaluate everybody to see your particular situation and we deal with that. Everybody doesn't need $1 million worth of trade lines. Everybody doesn't need $2 million worth of trade lines. If you have that ability, by all means. Okay, but we look at your personal situation and we try to have you succeed based on what we have looked at based upon your situation. So we're going in trying to help you do the best we can. And I want to thank Ron for coming on here. He's a busy man. He deals in millions and millions and millions of dollars. But you're not going to have Bezos come on here and give you information and not charge you. You're not going to have Trump come on here. You're not going to have all these people. So I want everybody, before we go off, to make sure that before we go off, we say thank you to Brother Ron for coming on here and giving us his time. He's a good friend, and he's giving of himself because he wants you to succeed. So thank you for your question, and let's try Dante. What's your question, brother? Dante, what's your question? Dante's. Okay, how about Maylor? What's your question? Let's see if we can do this in a minute. Getting kind of late. All right.
Johnny.
Okay. Maylor. Okay, you got to open your mics. How about David Huffman? What's your question, brother? Got to open your mic. Okay, how about Janice?
Yes, hi. Thank you guys so much. I'm so grateful I'll call you my doctor, Dr. Whitehead, and thank you so much, Ron. It's probably just a simple question. I'm not sure if it can be done. Can you do reassignment of debt to your personal credit or add it as a primary to make you to be a stronger PG for once you got your
Everybody asked me about this. I've been in the banking industry since 2013. I'm huge in my side of the world. I'm on the back end of many big people in the world in this industry. And you would think a personal credit company would find me, but I know why they don't, is they don't really exist. They exist for about 4 months and then experience shuts them down. So the issue is you'll hear about that unicorn and you'll hear someone even say, I use this company somewhere within 4 months. Now what happens is they set up a car dealership, right? A pretend car dealership. And they register with Experian in different places for business or personal. And they reassign that debt to you. They make it look like you got funded. However, those companies are bullshit. And what they do is they make it look like everyone's paying them back on time. Well, within 3 to 4 months, Experian system goes through all the Experian systems that they have with companies that report debt. And they look for anomalies. And 3 to 4 months in, it finds this weird anomaly that doesn't make sense. A perfect book of business that every single person that lender lent money to made their payment on time, never late. Bank of America doesn't have a book of business like that. Jesus doesn't have a book of business like that. Their system gets shut down and anything that it touched in the past falls off the credit report. And usually that's the time that you've already paid a company that lied to you. It's like, oh, I can do it. And they believe they could do it too. They did it the last 3 months. Well, when they go into their Experian system to pull the reports, they can't get in. It says contact us and they have to talk to somebody and they're in trouble. So they just walk away with your money. So I wouldn't look for primary personal trade lines like that. I would just do it organic way, which is the safest bet. Add a couple authorized users, go to your bank 3 months later after the authorized, and make sure the authorized users have under 10% balances on them before you go into the bank. Then go into your bank or American Express or whatever credit cards you're looking at and fill out a couple of them. Now you have primary accounts that are new. I started off with no credit, one authorized user that was a brand new $2,200 credit card. My friend had a brand new credit card from Capital One that was $2,200. I'm in the banking industry. I didn't go and put some old age giant one on. And no, I did that 3 months later. I asked Capital One for a credit card. I had it for 3 months. 3 months later, I asked Bank of America and Chase for a credit card. I had nice size little credit cards for personal, managed them perfect, kept balances low. I got a car. Now I'm juggling. The bank sees 3 revolving credit cards and 1 loan. Low balances on credit cards make me no risk. I asked the bank for some funding. 3 banks funded me $175,000 put together. I used a professional funding company that did that for me, so I got $175,000. I bought 3 aged businesses, enhanced them with the $50,000 aged account with the low balance. I added a phone number, website, location to all 3 of them, different phone number, different website, 3 different office spaces. I invested some money, but each company got 50,000 times 3. I told the story earlier, but when I told about one. I bought 3 companies and each one got 300,000 in loans and an average of 150,000 in credit cards. So I had 900,000 in loans, another 450,000 in credit cards, 1.35 million later. I started a call center, took $300,000 in 9 months before I made $1. And then I started making a lot of dollars. We put management in place. I started buying property, started buying this, started buying things for cheap, investing in crypto and stocks, blew off my socks. That was awesome. And it just went from there. It steamrolled. And now my personal credit's in the high 800s. And it all started with a 597 credit score, paying the right person to wipe off my negatives, made me brand new again, adding one authorized user, moving forward from there. So I didn't go search for some of my money. So try not to search for primary personals. Even searching for primary business, you'll run into a roadblock. This is stuff not meant to be online. So don't really be a scammer. You want to talk to Derrick about this stuff because this is funding soup, guys. Don't mess up the recipe. The banks won't eat it. Even the aged company. If you go and try to buy a shelf company because you Googled it, well, if the underwriter at the bank can tell that you purchased a shelf company, there's no funding for you. There's ways to trick them into not knowing that you purchased the company. There's just about 3 or 4 states out there that hide the original ownership information and doesn't type ownership information on the corp. And that's something you just hang out with Derrick for. He walks people through that process every single day.
All right.
I'm just Ron.
Thank you. How about David Huffman? What's your question?
Thank you, guys. Ron, thank you, Mr. Whitehead. I have a purchase on 40 plus acres of land, and the sellers have given me 90 days to close. My question is, since I'm intending to build public storage units, would you recommend going the route of a shelf corp and stringing together the credit cards and the line of credit, or would you pursue the route of a 506C Reg D PPM to get the money to buy the land and go ahead and get those storage units on there producing income? I don't know which way to go of those two options that I've been learning from you guys.
There's a lot of missing parts. So there's a lot of things that you'd have to mention to me, like you said you only have 90 days. That's a short amount of time to start raising a fund, building a fund, or even to do crowdfunding. And there's many ways.
The 506.
Yeah, many ways to skin a cat. So I would go, Rachel, take his number and give him to Mark, and send him to Mark.
Thank you.
Because
yes, Mr. Derrick,
there's a lot of missing parts, a lot that you haven't told me about.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for your time, and thank you for helping us all.
You're welcome. Thank you, brother. Okay, looks like that's the last question. No, Derrick and Nicole, last question. I think that's the last question. Let me see. Oh boy,
Mr. Derrick, I missed my answer for one I typed in. If I can get a chance to ask.
What's your question?
First, thank you for everything you do. I just found you, and that was the best thing I found. And thank you also for Ron for being here. So I have an LLC I created in 2014, and 2019, still in operation, and I have a credit card and line of credit on it. Now that I know the C Corp is the best way to go, I'm trying to see if I were to add my C Corp as authorized user from the LLC's credit cards and line of credit, is that going to help?
You want to add your C Corp as, say it again?
As authorized user on the LLC's credit cards and line of credit?
You want to use your C Corp, or you want to use the people on your C Corp? What do you?
I guess the C Corp is just me for now.
The C Corp is a person, but it's a piece of paper. You can't have a piece of paper. The PG, they want to be a living, breathing person, not a paper person.
Okay.
Got it?
Got it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. How about Jerry Mendoza? What's your question, brother?
Hello, Mr. Whitehead. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hi. Okay. My question is for Ron. Ron, if I have I put my business under the C Corp. C Corp's aged. I got it from Mr. Whitehead, and my business is a sole proprietorship. It's been in business for about 20 years, and it's a sole proprietorship. But what kind of a trade line should I get for that before I go for funding for the C Corp? If it's making, I don't know, $200,000 a year?
Well, the sole proprietorship is separate from the C Corp. Those aren't the same. So the C Corp,
we don't have an economic masonry assistant. We don't have an economic masonry assistant.
The C Corp would have a timestamp on the Secretary of State, and it wouldn't be the stamp of, it wouldn't be when your sole proprietorship started. It would be whatever age the C Corp was.
Yes. Call economicmasonry.com and dial that number, and that is our only number. Anybody that gives you that calls from a number other than our website number, which will direct you to anywhere, is a fake. Look out for the fakes and the frauds. Go ahead, brother. Sorry.
What you want to do is you want to add aged lines of credit to that company. And I'm sure if you purchased it and went through Derrick, it's at least 2 years old as an LLC or an incorporation. I know Derrick likes incorporations, not LLCs.
Economic
so
Masonry.
we have the incorporations. They get so much more money than an LLC, right? Both of them get money, but incorporations can do so much more and get larger funding. So if you have an incorporation, it's not 20 years old as your other one. If not 2 years old, and I'm going to answer that question too. If you're not 2 years old and let's say you're at least a year in business, if you build the business credit with the EIN, 45 days later, as long as the personal credit's good, the age business, you age the business credit, well, you can go after large credit cards and vehicles and equipment financing. But if you want to go to Bank of America or any major lender you can walk into, they ask that you as a human are 18, you have an age requirement, and you as a business are 24 months old, 2 years old, before asking for a loan or a line of credit. But you can get giant credit cards and vehicles.
Yes, brother, I'm on the Zoom.
And that's really about it.
What was that?
So then are you saying I should wind up getting that trade lines on the C Corp that I got? Instead of getting a trade line on the tattoo business that I got as a DBA?
Well, those don't count. Sole proprietorships don't count. They're not registered as a business on the Secretary of State. So,
okay, go ahead, brother. Okay, you got it. All right.
The money?
Well, no, because the C Corp is completely different. It's a whole different entity. It has nothing to do with the other one. You might have DBA'd it, but the age of the sole proprietorship, it was a hobby for 20 years. Your C Corp is a completely different entity. Has nothing to do with it. You just happen to doing business as the same name because that name wasn't really taken because it wasn't registered as an LLC or an incorporation. So your company to the bank is as old as your C Corp. And that's where the power is. The sole proprietorship, they go, oh, cool, you're acting as a person doing business as a business name, but you're not on the Secretary of State for 20 years. You weren't at all. So until Derrick got you set up with an aged business, and it sounds like you went doing business as the same name as your sole proprietorship. So you want to add to the C Corp, you want to add the business credit to, that's where the power is. And then if you have a bank account that's through the C Corp, not the sole proprietorship, there's power there. But if you're running money through a bank account that's not connected to the EIN number, that's not connected to the C Corp, you're not running money through the right bank account.
Okay, so then what kind of trade lines should I go for before funding that?
Well, you're going to contact Derrick about that one, right? Because he's going to look at your company and put the right ones on there. Most likely they're going to be lines of credit. Or aged loans with low balances, one to your Experian, and another one to the Small Business Financial Exchange. And if you talk to Derrick, he gets that set up. I mean, this is a 30 to a 45-day process, sometimes sooner. Like, I'll tell you this, if someone did it with Derrick before the end of the month, probably before the 25th of next month, you'd already be done. It would already be landing on your credit reports. You'd already be going to the bank.
Okay.
Why not just convert your LLC to a C Corp?
So then I would lose the age or what?
LLC.
Yes, sir. St.
You
Louis.
never had the age. You never had it.
Okay.
You never had it. The only age you ever had was what you purchased. The other age, that's pretend. The bank never accepted it, never looked at it, never cared because it wasn't a company. Banks only care what's on the Secretary of State. So it never was there. So the age isn't there. Just in your mind, oh, I've been buying cars and selling it for more, but you did it personally. And that's what the sole proprietorship, your brain is just tricked into thinking you had a company and that's not registered as a company. So the C Corp brought the real power. So don't worry about the 20 years that you lost there. That's nothing. Worry about having a company that's 2 years old.
Our number is on our
you added
website.
Credit to, and you have positive personal credit.
Our real number is on our website. Economicmasonry.com is our real number. Any other number that someone's giving you, check it against our real website number. They are a scammer. Our real number is on our website, economicmasonry.com. And I have changed my picture because they're still in the blue coat. So I've changed my picture to black. I'm in a black suit now. And look at economicmasonry.com and look at the number. Before you call anyone, look at our number on our website. That's the authentic number. Scammers.
They're going to ask you for tax returns and bank statements, making it now difficult because your aged company has no funding. Because you don't have it unless you open up a bank account after you set it up and you're running money through that bank account, not your sole proprietorship's bank account.
Okay, got you, Ron. Thanks a lot. Thank you, Mr. Whitehead.
You're welcome, brother. How about last question, Derrick and Nicole? Oh, wait a minute. We
Hi,
have
Mr.
Derrick and
Hi,
Nicole.
Mr. Whitehead. How are you?
God got me up. We have David after you, and that's it. Okay.
Well, Mr. Whitehead, is Derrick and Nicole.
Okay.
This is Derrick speaking.
Gotcha.
Yes, thank you. Yes, my question is for Ron.
Okay.
Mr. Ron, I want to make sure that we heard you correctly. I think you mentioned that if we are a really, really strong PG, that we can be a PG with 2 or 3 corps at the same time. Is that correct?
Correct. If you have 3 kids and walk them into a car dealership, they'll get and that one kid wants a $60,000 vehicle, they're going to say no. If you bring 3 kids in on the same day, you co-sign for all 3, they're going to give each one of them a $20,000, which totals 60. So it's the same thing as co-signing for all your businesses. Same thing as co-signing for your 3 kids. 3 different EIN numbers. Banks love entrepreneurs because they can now open up multiple accounts. When I go in, I have a real estate company the banks won't fund. They go, no, we don't fund investment companies or real estate companies. Go get a merchant trash advance loan or go get a hard money loan. I'm like, oh, I don't want one. So what do? I set up 3 consulting companies. I just go to this, I set them up and I say, they're consulting companies. Make a cute little consulting company website that's not working. Get a phone number that I'm not really going to give out to people. Get a real office that I'm not really going to go into. But I've just created real. Now I have 3 consulting companies that are getting 50,000 times 3, 4, 5 or more each. And I'm getting giant credit cards too. I take all that money, $900 or $1 million, and I hand it to my 4th company, which is unfundable. So I basically created my own bank. The banks won't fund this company, but they'll fund the other 3 companies because they're a fundable entity. Now those companies hand all the money to a real estate company. Real estate company buys whatever it wants, sells it, whatever, flips it, makes the money back, pays back all the other loans and lines of credit and credit cards. And that way the banks keep funding my other 3 companies more. And I keep giving that money to my other projects that they won't fund. So that's what I like to do. I call it a 3-to-1 split. I have 1 company they won't fund, so I set up 3 companies they will fund, and I handle that money to the one that they wouldn't fund. It makes it super fast, super simple, super efficient. You just have to have the money to get there. Once you get there, you won.
And remember, guys, you're welcome. And remember, we have a program. If you don't have the money, we can go get you seed money so you can buy a lot of these things that we're talking about. And the banks will go in. And I want you to go in and go to economicmasonry.com. If you're dialing any other number, it's a scammer. Okay, so go to economicmasonry.com, dial the number that's on our website, and ask for seed money. Okay, if you go in and get the seed money, then we can go. You got a 680 credit score, sometimes a little lower, right? They can go in and get underwriters at banks to get you the seed money so you can buy these things that we're talking about. Get all of it, get it all knocked out. All right. The other thing is, if you don't have all the money, you got a little money, put a down payment, put something in your future. Just put a little money down, some skin in the game, they call it, so you can get this thing going. How about going and get take a credit card and pay less for the corp in everything if you pay for the corp now? You pay. Now we don't have to go in and ask underwriters to underwrite you for seed money. You can just pay for what you need now and tell them Derrick Whitehead said to give you a discount or throw something in there. Okay, I'll throw something in there. All right, we got last question. David R. What's your question?
Hello, sir. How are you doing today?
Oh, God got me up. Thank you, brother.
All right. For the corporation, is there a interest-free loan? Can you get an interest-free loan for
It really depends on the lender. Usually credit cards are they'll have interest free for, certain people. If you have balances under 10% on your credit cards, you have if there is a interest-free loan out there, it would only be for the people with no negatives on their credit cards, on their personal credit, low balances under 10% on each individual credit card before you walk in the door. And that's all. That just depends if the lender has that option. But most lenders for loans and lines of credit, they don't have the 0% right now. But if they did, it would only be for the ones who have under 10% utilization on each separate credit card before you fill out the application. So personal credit, no negatives, low balances, a credit mix, 2 credit cards, and at least 1 or 2 cash loans, low balances on credit cards. If you're under 10%, that would be the only person who would get whatever the best interest rate that lender is offering at that time. Typically, credit cards, a lot of them have 0% for 8 months, 12 months, 16 or 18 months.
Okay.
The last thing I got 0% for 36 months, I got a Ford truck that was 120 grand called a Black Widow. And that one gave us 36 months. 3 years ago, I just started paying interest on it recently, but for the first 36 months, it was 0% because I'm at 0 utilization always on my personal, but really high on some of my businesses. So my businesses absorb all my utilization. I can always use my personal.
Got you. What about interest?
It just depends on your lender. Your lender would have to have that option. They don't have that option.
Okay. What about interest only then?
Like what kind of loan?
Interest only loan?
It depends. It all depends on your lender. The lenders, if they're giving those options at that time. So all these options aren't always given at the lender. It's always fluctuates based on the risk they took in that month or that year. They go, hey, this month we're doing these kind of loans and this month. But again, if you want anything, if you want to be able to dictate almost what you want at the bank, have a company over 2 years old, make sure you made it look like it borrowed money before, dropped it down to the floor, right? Add real loans or lines of credit to it, and make sure your balances on your credit cards are under 10%. The banks will listen to you. And if they have the option that you're asking for, they're going to give it to that person, to that business, where the business owner is managing debt perfect. You're a low risk owner and your business has borrowed money before, dropped it down to the floor, never missed a payment. You're a low risk business. That business gets whatever it wants. If the bank you're going to has those options, they will give you those options because you're what they're looking for. If you're upside down, then they don't want to give you those options. So just look that way. And then at that moment in life, Google or ChatGPT, which lenders are offering this right now. And then you can find it on Google, or sometimes ChatGPT will say, well, this lender is offering it right now. And that could help you. But lenders change that all the time. So it's not like we can just give you, hey, go to Wells Fargo. Hey, go to Bank of America. It has to be that option has to be available at that moment.
Understood. Thank you so much for that.
You're very welcome. Okay, it was supposed to be the last question, but we don't want to leave David.
I do have a question,
Nicole.
Mr. Whitehead.
What's your question?
Hi, how are you?
God got me up.
Hi, Mr. Whitehead. How are you today?
God got me up. That's a good thing.
Awesome. Awesome. I had a question for Mr. Ron Anthony.
Yes.
And the question is, I really didn't understand enhancing your EIN or your social security number. Who do you talk to enhance your EIN and say, hey, can you add my C Corp to my business? Who are you talking to?
You're going to talk to Derrick. So that's something you're going to call Derrick about. So you contact Derrick, and then he can have the debt reassigned to a business. So a business, this is very rare. This is something that people inside the bank can do, because banks upload data, buy data, and then report the data to the bureau. So you can actually add real loans and real lines of credit backdate with low balances on your business credit report to your EIN number. That's how it works. Yeah, JT Reed, I know you think it sounds fishy. When my tax guy, he's better than H&R Block. Some people are like, well, how are you doing that? You got to be cheating. No, my tax guy understands the tax code better than H&R Block. I pay him a lot of money, and I barely pay taxes because I do it the right way. Understanding how to reassign debt, you're just dealing with the right thing, doing a big boy play. You can either do the DMB way, which is fine. It's just going to take a couple of years before you can go to the bank. Or you can just enhance the business. It's not for everyone. Some people think they can do it on their own. Go try it. But this is just a fast track way. And that's all we're doing today. You can reassign debt and attach it to an EIN number, which attaches to Experian and Small Business Financial Exchange, shows low balances, and puts you in a player seat when you walk into the bank. You know, some people, you know, that ask questions like that, I just say, you know what, give me your zip code. And I find the nearest church and tell the scared person to go there and pray.
Okay, so you're reassigning your business, you're reassigning your business debt to your EIN number.
Well, yeah, not your business debt. Another business is their debt is showing up on yours, but the lender sees a primary account. So the lender on the business side, it doesn't say the letter's authorized user. So the lender
so you're
sees
saying like with Shelf Corp?
a real primary account, even though it came from another. So you buy a shelf company or you have a company that's over 2 years old, and then you add real age credit with low balances to it. It's a very rare play. It's not something you guys are used to Googling. There's a millionaire way how we do it. We don't go buy toilet paper and office supplies. We have debt reassigned to our EINs, to whether it's our Shelf Corp we just purchased or our existing company we've had for over 2 years. It's
so how are
the
you
reason why you don't
enhancing-
hear about it much. It's $50 a month to build your Dun & Bradstreet. That doesn't help at the bank, but people will go that way first, because when you tell someone, hey, this is going to cost a few $1,000s to add this debt on there, they go, oh my God. But instead of waiting 2-3 years to go get a $50,000 loan, you're waiting about 30 to 45 days to go get a few $100,000 in credit cards, loans, and lines of credit and vehicles and equipment, which can change your life in months instead of hopefully the banking industry is the same in 2 years.
I get it. So your Shelf Corp, when you're, that's what you're adding to your EIN and your Social Security number, and that's how you're enhancing.
No. We are adding trade lines to the business. The business is a person. The business is a person,
right.
And just like you
Yeah,
have,
so the business,
like
let's say it doesn't
credit,
have a loan or line of credit. You bought a
business
blank
has
company,
credit.
you know, but had never been funded before, a shelf company. And a month and a half later, you pull the EIN and you see Experian. It says, hey, you have a $100,000 loan with a $15,000 balance. You've had it for 3 years. You bought a 4-year company, you have a 3-year loan. Wow, you've never missed a payment of over $2,200 a month. And now banks go, oh, wow, you borrowed $100,000 before, you dropped it down the floor. You never missed a payment before. We can now trust you for around what you borrowed before. But if you don't have anything you've ever borrowed, you ever paid back, then you look like an 18-year-old kid, and the bank has to give you minimum. Here's a $5,000 to $10,000 personal credit card. $15,000 maybe max.
How are you enhancing? Okay,
ma'am, we can only ask one question. We've gone into. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. We're going into about the third question now, so it's getting kind of late. So if you have more questions,
no worries.
Let's hop into. We'll be here every Tuesday and Thursday. I'm here, so you can always ask the questions. But it's about 8:30, 9:30, 11, 12:30 on the East Coast. So we have one more question. Deborah Muhammad, what is your question?
That was me. But now it's Deborah.
Hi.
Ready, Derrick?
No, my hand
Well,
has been up for quite.
We've said one question, and we answered 3 questions. That's not mean. That's nice.
I just want to see how best I can pay off my credit.
And keep in mind, this is free. So it can't be mean where we're doing this all night for free. But what's your question?
That's right.
What's your question, ma'am?
Thank you for taking my question. So I wanted to find out about the trade lines. Are there specific companies that we can go to buy these lines, or do we go to Economic Masonry?
Yeah, you have to talk to Derrick. This is a very, very unicorn industry. There's only 2 entities in the world that we know of that do this legitimately and won't steal your money. This is funding soup. Don't go Googling things like even shelf companies. There's a million ways to die at the bank. If the bank can tell that you bought a shelf company, we deny you. We want to believe you've owned it the whole time. You want to make sure that you're not putting the wrong type of aged loan or line of credit. There's wrong ways to do this. And most 9 times out of 9, it's incorrect. This is a very, very rare way. That's why you guys don't learn it online. This is not meant for the masses. It's not meant to be Googled. It's meant just to listen to the ones who are doing it already and go, oh, wow, this is what the billionaires are doing. This is what the Trumps are doing and the Bezos are doing. They're not buying toilet papers and office supplies. We're laughing at you guys. We're having debt reassigned to our business in 30 to 45 days and sometimes sooner. And in 30 to 45 days, in a blink, the bank goes, oh, wow, look at this aged business. It borrowed $50,000 before. It dropped it down the floor, never messed up before. The owner has a positive credit score, low balances, never messed up before. You know what? We'll lend you around what your business has borrowed before. If you made it look like you borrowed $50,000 and paid it down, your next lender doesn't want to start you off at beginner funding. They want to start you off at $50,000 loans, lines of credit, credit cards, and more. And if you go to 3 or 4 banks at the same time or use a professional funding company, they can do what's called stacking. They hit the application at the same time with their system. And now the lenders only see 1 credit pool, but they went to 5 banks. Now every bank is funding you thinking that they're the only one funding you, not knowing that you have all these other inquiries because they did at the same time. Now you get overfunded, and then all you have to do is manage that funding. And most clients know what they're going to do with the money when they get it to make more money.
Okay, thank you for your question about David Sayaker. It's about 8:30, 12:30 in the East Coast. So let's see if we can do this in a minute.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'll be very short. I just want to see how best I can get some help to kind of clean up my credit. That's all.
Okay, can you say
do
it?
I have to pass with Derrick?
Can you say it once again? Can you say that again?
His personal credit he wants to work on with you.
Yeah,
So
I want to work on it.
Economic Masonry.
Oh, personal credit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm a consultant. I don't do credit. I don't do any of that. I just teach. So what I do is I send you out to affiliates, and everything we say here is from our perspective, and this is for entertainment purposes only. So we
So can you send me out to Ron?
So we are consultants, and we give you this information freely because we believe everyone on here is a friend, and we will continue to give you that information freely. And I've been doing this for about 4 years now, and hopefully I can continue to give you this free information. So in saying that, we're not brokers, we're not finders, we're not attorneys, we cannot give you tax advice. This is not a get-rich plan. This is from our perspective to do the best that we can to give you our perspective. So in saying that, anytime we want to help you, we will send you to affiliates so that they can help you out with whatever you're looking for. All right. And last but not least, we want to say thank you, everybody, for being here. If you need any help from us, where I can send you to anybody, give us a call. We have the number there that you can see that's being posted. Or do not be scammed. Do not be scammed. We have the number on our website, economicmasonry.com, economicmasonry.com. Call that number and make sure it is the real Economic Masonry, okay? In saying that, I want to thank everybody for being here. I want to thank our guests, and anything that we say or our guests say is from our perspective, and that goes for anything that any other guest has said that's been here, or any guest now, or any guest in the future. So we're doing our best to give our time to you, to help you. And I want to thank Ron for being here. He's a very, very busy and wealthy man. And this just goes to show it's not always about the money. Who is going to show you all night long until they're losing their voice, right? So I want everybody to open their mics, all right? Everybody open your mics. Everybody open your mics. We've been giving this free information for a while. I want you to open your mics now, okay?
Thanks, Ron.
Thank you, Ron.
Open your mics.
Thank you, Ron.
All
Can I get a
right.
hold of you?
All right. Ron has hit you with the Holy Grail, baby.
Ron, we
Okay.
appreciate you.
All right. Open
Thank
your
you,
mics.
Ron.
Everybody open your
Guys,
mics.
just follow it.
Thank you, Ron. Thank you, Mr. Whitehead.
You're welcome,
Thank
brother.
you, Mr.
All right.
Whitehead.
Thank you so much, Mr.
So I want everybody out there, I want to say this. I want to say this. All right, I want to tell you this. First of all, teach your children. Teach your babies. If you don't teach your babies, if you don't teach your kids, it's not their fault. It ain't their fault. All right. So now I'm going to go in, open your mics up, and I'm going to say, who is going to teach you all of this on the internet all night? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Hit it. Nobody.
Nobody but Mr. Whitehead.
Nobody but me and Ron. That's it. Nobody loves you like me. Talk to you guys now. I love you.